We are live. Hello, everyone. It is very hot outside. It is just 12 p.m. in Amsterdam, and it is, I think, 26, 27 degrees. It's going to be really hot today, needless to say. Oh, yeah, it's 25, sorry. And today it's going to get to 30, and it's going to stay at 30 for a long time. So it's very, very hot outside, and when it's so hot, I recommend everybody don't go out. It's unhealthy, you know. The sun isn't, it's radiating you. So I'm following my own advice and not going out, but I still want to do some outreach. So we'll be doing Discord outreach today. I wanted to do it in the evening, but it's a bit more complicated in the evening. Anyway, Dandelion Gum is here. I appreciate you, Dandelion Gum, for being here. Yeah, that's the whole point. I'm already hot, by the way. Like I'm in a tank top and I'm already sweating, by the way. It's hot as balls. Hey, Valentine, nice to see you. I do have my fan over here. I will probably start at midway, but yeah, it is in my room. It is now 22 degrees, so it's still better than outside. Martin is here. Hello, Martin. Lovely to see everybody. I think people will start pouring in. Will be a Discord stream, as we know. Please have patience. Do not consume yourselves. I'm mostly interested in your outcome so that you don't burn yourself out, so that you don't get frustrated. The people who will be coming into this stream today will be very disingenuous. They'll just be looking for excuses. So take that into consideration. You may not have any productive conversations. Do not waste your time too much with one person or another. Just spend some time with somebody. If you see that it's not going anywhere, if you don't want to, just move on. That's it. And don't. It's not a reflection on your activism style. These are just the people that are coming in. All of you are awesome people. All of you do awesome activism. And I just want to be clear that we might have some trolls and all that stuff, right? So don't let them get to you, okay? We're here to speak for animals. A lot of them might even listen. And you know what? There's the saying, kill them with kindness. Kill them with kindness, okay? Just make sure, like if they're being a dick or something, you're being nice, be scientific, do not insult, I guess. I don't know. Do whatever you want at the end of the day. But I'm just giving advice so that you stay on the right side and they stay on the frustrated side, okay? Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Let's go into the Discord, shall we? They're already discussing. VPM is also live. I think Vegan Felek is also live, so that's cool. Give them a follow and the like. I really owe them gratitude for being able to go on these streams. Let's see what conversations we'll be having today. And yes, my muscles are big. That's why I also wearing a tank top to show off my muscles a little bit. I don't always get this opportunity. Okay, let me put it this way. There you go. I look half naked with this being vegan. It's like I'm wearing a dress, huh? You could consider me wearing a dress. I don't mind that. Men should wear dresses. Okay, let's join.
Hi.
No, it's fine. We can just forget about them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sagi basically provided me with one piece of information, and that piece of information supports my claims. I'm gonna add it to my site, so I appreciate it. Thank you, Sagi.
Yoink.
I actually appreciate it. Yeah, yikes.
Uno reverse.
Also post,
Oh.
I'm not sure if you... This is, I think, from 2023. This is my receipt of vegan food. On the left side, it has the quantity. On the right side, it has the price.
Okay.
Pretty good.
That's for how long, Felek?
What do you mean? All of this?
Yeah, how much food is that?
This is
how
like
long?
meal prep stuff as well. A lot of it is just like bits and pieces and also meal prep. 3 weeks, give or take.
That's
So
incredibly
too
cheap.
cheap. Yeah.
I heard my name.
That's funny. That's funny as fuck. All right, anybody else? Can we please have a conversation?
So I'm going to make a statement. Whoever disagrees, speak up, okay? The only way to respect animals is to be vegan. I guess
Damn,
everybody
everyone
agrees.
agrees.
Everybody
Everyone
agrees.
agrees,
Wow.
yeah.
Holy shit, we're winning. Guys, we're winning. Right, but like actually, if anybody wants to have a conversation about this, they should step up right now.
I think Avery was having a genuine conversation, but then other people came in and they're still there in the VC.
Hey, Avery, you want to discuss with us? No.
I think
No.
Avery. I think we've talked to Avery a little bit, and they definitely want to try Challenge 22, right? If I'm not
Avery
mistaken.
typed in the chat, no.
Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah.
So there you go, Avery. I put it in the chat. No pressure. It's just your moral worth that is on the line. That's the only thing. I'm joking. Animals' lives are on the line, is what I meant to say.
Do you want me to start the event now?
Yeah, start the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
Oh,
should I name
shit.
it?
The only way to respect animals is to be vegan.
No, Cheap. Let's not use the word respect. It's kind of it's kind of
It triggers
not
people.
defined enough.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it triggers people. It's just like really hard to define it, what it even has to do with veganism a little bit, in my opinion, right? If you use it successfully, that's great, but somehow like have conversations about respect, because like farmers say that they respect animals while slitting their throat.
Fair enough.
It's one of those words that it's like.
What should I name it?
But if it works for you, Chip, like I wouldn't want to persuade you to not use it if it works for you, for your activism. I'm just like not sure that I can do it.
No, that's okay. I got somebody in my chat already coming in and saying that my face, that I look like I have a disrespectful face. So
Awesome. You see, that word is weird. That's weird shit to people.
I guess.
Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
I'm just like wondering what does a disrespectful face looks like, and I just hate it when people start attacking me for my looks. I obviously look how I was born. I don't know why anybody would have a problem with how I was
You look
born.
cute as fuck, man. What the hell?
Yeah, cute as fuck. Somebody came into my chat, I think 2 days ago, or maybe I don't remember when, and they asked, if I go vegan, would I look like you? I said, no, you would look like you still. And they said,
Me.
yeah, and they said, well, good, I don't want to look like you. Well, then you can go vegan, because you wouldn't. You can just like go vegan and still look like yourself. It was funny to me.
Yeah,
The
that is.
conversation was.
I mean, that's the thing, people will cling on to anything. Like, she's making good arguments. I'm gonna say something. Your face. There you go. Good
Yeah.
argument.
I have a zit right now. Probably people in the chat are probably like, oh, I don't know, want to go vegan because they have a zit.
You know how Bruce Banner slowly turns into Hulk, right? That's kind of how they think veganism is gonna affect them. But like not the super strong one. It's just you're gonna have modifications to your body and stuff.
Well, it's more like Spider-Man, because we become weird and skinny, and we can climb.
But super intelligent.
Sorry?
But super intelligent as well.
Yeah. Chip is very skinny. Chip, did you see my vegan athletes page yet?
No, am I skinny? What did you call me skinny?
Jokingly, yes.
Well, to be honest, like Post is claiming that you are like the weakest vegan.
I'm the weakest
Yeah.
vegan.
Oh, did you know, Chip, that there was a somebody who won Mr. Olympia who's on a plant-based diet?
Whoa,
Did
that's
you know
cool.
that?
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
There you go.
Wow.
You can see it on my site on my
What's his
screen.
name?
Hmm?
What's his name?
Fuck, it's a Brazilian name, so give me a second.
Also,
It's a
post
Brazilian
this.
Mr. Olympia that they won. So Guilherme Abomai is
Where?
the name. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Of course, they're taking steroids because every Mr. Olympia competitor takes steroids.
I mean,
Obviously.
yeah.
But then
There's
you have
no-
like all these Olympians just from 2024. It's just like a stream of Olympians that I added to my site. And Novak Djokovic. I think I should delete him. I think, you know what I saw today, Chip? I saw Novak Djokovic playing tennis and hugging RFK. I think Novak Djokovic is going to become an ex-vegan soon.
because he's hanging out with
Oh,
the
Healthiest
man in
He's not
America.
vegan, but
no,
hanging out with an anti-vaxxer, anti-seed oils,
raw milk
pro
drinker.
But wait.
carnivore, pro grass-fed bullshit.
But Djokovic
Raw
always
milk
was like
drinker.
that. He was always like, you remember during COVID that he rejected to sit in isolation
Vaccine.
or the vaccine in order to go to a contest in Australia.
Yeah, I was reminded of that today, that his nickname is actually No Vax.
No,
vax
so
joke.
good, so good.
So good. So I'm gonna fucking delete this guy. I don't want to promote him.
Does strong woman come in under athlete?
Yeah, please
Yeah,
send
So-
it
yeah.
to me.
So I think you should add Sophia Ellis. She's a proud vegan. She promotes veganism, and
What
she's
the hell
a
did you
strong
just
woman.
type? What the hell did you just type in the side channel?
Is that a security key? Can we copy that and use
No,
it?
no. It's fine. It's fine.
GitHub
It's just
security key.
Oh, that's
I'm
Sophie
sorry.
Alice Braxton? Is that
No, not that. Not that.
Oh, okay. Sophia Alice,
I'll share the Wikipedia page.
please.
So somebody asked me about what if I
Clarence
believe in
Bailey.
keeping pets as vegan. Do you see it as companionship or a form of control/domestication? Where do you personally draw the ethical line? What do you guys think? Do you want to answer this question? Do you see pets as keeping pets as vegan?
There was a funny word. There was a funny word for this, Chip. There was a funny word. I just can't remember. It's like, who are you? What are you doing this for? In favor for you or in favor of the animal? Who? Oh shit! My package. It's like.
Yeah, that's actually a very good way of putting it, right? Are you looking after the interest of the animal or for you? So are you getting a pet because you're trying to rescue them from a shelter, or are you getting a pet because you feel lonely? In my opinion, there's a big difference there, right? But companionship is fine, of course, right? As long as you treat them as a companion, not a property. Somebody says God gave us animals for consumption. Are you saying God is a liar? I don't know what to tell you, man. My God is in the shape of a
Wait,
chicken. I keep
I
saying
can address
to
that
people.
one.
Oh, you can address that one? Okay,
I can address that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So which god? Let's start there.
I'm
Which
assuming I
religion is this?
used uppercase G, so I'm assuming Christian God.
Yeah. So that then would be, who's the person asking?
Cloud be anybody. I don't know. Somebody here in my chat.
Oh, in your chat. Okay.
Yeah.
So can they see my screen share?
Let me
Can you
try and do
provide-
that. Yeah. Let me try. Give me a
Okay,
second.
while I'm looking for the thing myself. Culture and religion, Christianity.
Window capture. Discord.
Oh,
Hell yeah. Okay.
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 So it's like,
1 second.
yeah. Oh, I don't have it here. It's in Genesis something. I should add it. It's in Genesis before, right? So nowhere in Genesis does it say that animals were created by God to be consumed. It says that animals were created to spread the earth and multiply, whatever the fuck. Something like that. But I should add it here. I don't have it. Sorry. But I think I said it here. So in Genesis 1, God created the animals and the humans for the purpose of populating the earth. Right? Nowhere does it say that God created animals for human consumption. It makes the claim that humans should have dominion over the animals, but that doesn't mean that the animals were created for human dominion. Nowhere in the Bible.
Am I the only one who lost audio?
You're fine. I can hear you.
Yeah, I also lost it for a few seconds.
Yeah, VPM, we lost a little bit of your audio towards the end, but that's okay.
Oh.
I think the person
Weird.
understood the point. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, we have the event now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So we got a couple people here. Did we create an event, by the way?
Yeah,
There
I
is the event.
created it's vegans versus non-vegan.
Oh, nice.
Sophia Ellis is thick as fuck, man. Oh, she looked good.
Yeah, she looks good. She is very strong, and she actively promotes veganism.
Ah, damn,
I should find her on social media and follow the fuck out of her. Oh no, that's vegan. Vegans can't be athletes. I should still add Kendrick Ferris in here.
Somebody came to my channel and said, I don't like this channel. It's so funny.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. Just move on then.
I'm gonna put her on top, the highest. She deserves it.
Yo, Val, since you're on camera, do a handstand push-up.
Is Val gonna do handstand push-ups?
I'm just telling him to do it. I don't. I think he needs to find a place to do it.
You're muted, Val.
No.
Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can share also if Val is gonna do handstand push-ups. We gotta see that, huh? Hell yeah, we're gonna get some vegan handstand push-ups.
Oh.
Kendrick Ferris.
Nice. I hate sitting upside down. Val is a trooper for.
Hey!
Oh.
There it is.
That's funny.
Nice.
Holy fuck, bro. My shoulders would pop out immediately. Man, is it my bias that I think that vegan athletes look fucking awesome? It's probably my bias.
I mean, I think that because you probably will eat a little bit less calories, most vegan athletes will be a little bit more ripped. That's my opinion, but that's not necessarily true, is it, right?
Yeah, I can pack calories very well. Yeesh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm on a cut right now anyway.
How many calories are you eating per day?
I think maybe too little. I think I'm eating about 1,300.
That's
Just drink olive oil.
insane. That's insanely little. What the hell?
Yeah,
1,300?
But I'm
well,
small. I'm small. I'm usually
yeah,
like my
depending.
allowance with moderate exercise is like less than 1,600. I'm tiny.
Yeah, so yeah, if you are like somewhat moderately or like lightly active, I think a good range might be like 11 to 13 calories per pound of body weight. I think 11 to 13 depends. Like maybe you should test it out. Yeah.
Poised, how much
Yeah.
calories are you going for?
I don't really count. I counted once and I kind of eat the same every day, kind of similar. But it's around 1,500.
Sorry, how much?
Around 1,300, 1,300.
And do you want to bulk up? Is that your goal?
Val, what you said makes no sense. Oh, you said per pound, so that's time
Yeah.
1.2,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
I think that
That
might
still
actually
makes no
be like
sense. That's very
Why not?
little. Bro,
How
that's
much is
very
it?
little. Under 800 calories
For you? Well, yeah, for you, okay. Yeah.
Oh, no. I should have done times 2.2.
Okay, let's see. Is there
Times.
anybody here who knows
Oh,
what
that's reasonable.
veganism is?
It's 1,300. Sorry, cheaper. It's 1,300. That's reasonable.
So you're
Yeah.
dead on the calculations.
I'm dead on.
VPM, you hear me?
Yeah.
So
sorry.
as much as I will hate to say it, yeah, okay, I kind of agree with you. Although I don't really like the fact that you need to use protein, how you call it, like protein powder or like
You don't need
vitamins.
to. No, only if
I
you
mean,
lift weights. No, hold on, Sagi. So
so
only if you lift weights. You don't have to use it
no,
just on
obviously,
regular diet.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I will give you my example because you guys were talking about me. So me, I cannot use protein powder. I used to take it. Yeah, I was training. Now I'm training a bit less, but I take it. I've taken it for like 2 years, I think, and then I think it was my not liver, but I don't know how to say it in English. Let me see. But like the thing that like releases it to the blood. What's the name of that? Let me see.
I quickly want to ask, did you go to a doctor to have it diagnosed?
Yeah, my
Okay.
kidneys. Yeah, that's the name. So my kidneys cannot like use protein powder, and I am like training. So for me, I cannot use protein powder at all. So
Yeah,
like,
you don't have to.
what's the solution for me?
Yeah,
So
the solution is like this, right? You take out the foods that are your main sources of protein and you replace them with equivalent vegan sources of protein, right? So right now, because you're training, eating animal, you just take those animal products and find the equivalents of those with the similar protein
but I don't think it's that
profile.
easy.
It's incredibly easy. I did it. I only using powder like a couple of months ago. I didn't use it before. So there are so tofu, as I said, is very similar to beef. So replacing beef would be with tofu. Eggs, frankly, don't need to be replaced. They are not also they're like a tiny protein amount, but you can replace them with tofu as well. Things that are like chicken, you can replace with textured vegetable protein. I think it's called soya chunks in most places on Earth. So soya chunks are like 52% protein, right? Incredible amount of protein. And they are incredibly shelf stable. So you basically, what you do is you throw them in a bowl. You throw a bunch of spices in there, like for instance, like some kind of a chicken flavor powder, right? Not that doesn't contain chicken, that is accidentally vegan. You just throw that in there, and you put some hot water, and you come back in 5 minutes. Throw it in stew, or you can like dry them a little bit and then like pan fry them or something like that, and that replaces chicken very well. Another thing that replaces chicken is seitan. Seitan is a wheat gluten replacement, and it also has like, I think like 40% protein. It kind of depends on the product, and if you make it at home, it's dirt cheap. It's so cheap to make seitan
Okay,
at home.
high in protein, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you also like throw in some lentils, beans, and rice, that you probably already eat anyways if you work
I mean,
out. Yeah.
yeah. So I like most. Okay, so I didn't only look in the study you sent me, but I've looked overall in the internet and stuff. Like most places, being vegan is cheaper. Like besides, like I think I saw India, or like I don't know, just poor places that they need, I don't know, something like that. But
Oh, you have
overall,
Lady Butcher is from India. He the lady thing is messing me up. He can tell you that if it's cheaper or more expensive in India. Lady
In India,
Butcher
it's
can.
yeah, it's
but no,
definitely much
I
cheaper.
but I found out you need to take like 5 supplements, like that you're missing if you're not eating meat.
If
Like
you're
B12.
Indian,
Yeah, go ahead,
if
sure.
there's a guy named Arvind, animal activist. He did a like huge project that he compared the non-vegan source and the vegan source, and he, with prices and sources and examples, he showed that on a vegan diet, like you can get all the nutrients and you can also make it cheaper. I'll link it in the side chat. I think that will do it.
Including B12.
Yeah, you have to take a B12 supplement, but how and when and
That's
how
not
much
all
and how
nutrients
much
then.
is it gonna cost? All of that is covered in the video.
Okay. Yeah, so in what I saw, you need to take B12, iron, omega-3, calcium, zinc, and
No,
vitamin D.
Oh
no.
no.
No?
You can get almost, except for vitamin D and B12 that you should
No.
supplement anyways for real. You can eat more tofu, and tofu has a huge amount of iron and huge amount of calcium. For zinc, you can probably as a male you should take one, but you can get it from food. You can eat just like pumpkin seeds, and pumpkin seeds are incredibly rich in zinc. So you can, if you don't want to take a multi-supplement that includes all of those supplements, and that's just one pill, right? You can just like formulate your diet in a way that gives you all the zinc and iron that you need. Men need very little, right? It's about half as much as females, right? People who are born in a female body. And tofu, about 400 grams of, which is what you're going to eat because you are training, has all the iron that even females need. So as a male, you really don't have to worry about iron.
Wait, let me see.
And in the meanwhile, I'm gonna try destroy what's their name? Sorry,
Happy Prince.
I just answered it, but so many people. Oh yeah, Happy Prince. Happy Prince. I'm gonna try destroying Happy Prince in the chat.
I think
Yeah.
they're just complaining, so that's
Yeah. Well, that's nice if you just want to vent, but if you make like actual claims, you should provide evidence.
So,
And I
but
don't think
like,
you have evidence. Yeah, go on.
Be honest, like being vegan is not fun. Like you don't have a lot of taste in food. Like
Wait.
just a
No,
lot of
no,
plants,
What?
no?
Sagi. No. So being vegan, actually, so as a person who values taste a lot, I can tell you that after being on a plant-based diet, by the way, because veganism is not a diet, it's the plant-based diet. After switching to a plant-based diet, you discover considerably more complex and interesting tastes rather than consuming only animal products. It's not like animal products have a particular special taste. It's why most bodybuilders dread eating chicken, rice, and broccoli, right? Because that's what they say. Oh, I'm going to eat chicken, rice, and broccoli. But they dread it because it doesn't really taste that good. So the only way to make animal products taste good is usually if you slaughter it in spices, which are essentially plants, or sauces. So come on. What are we talking about here?
I mean, I don't really agree with you.
What is it that you don't
But-
agree with? Because I made a couple of
That
statements
eating
there.
chicken, broccoli, and rice is tasteless.
So what does chicken taste like? If you don't add anything to chicken, what does it taste like?
If you just boil
What
chicken.
do you mean? Like chicken?
Yeah,
What?
which is nothing. It's just a bland
I
taste.
make my chicken with only salt and pepper, and it's good. Like
Oh, why do you add
I
pepper?
love it
Pepper is a
like that.
spice. Pepper is a fruit, is a vegetable.
But
Yeah.
okay,
Why do you
SG
add
meant
vegan
there,
food
so-
to your food? Why do
Wait.
you add vegan food to your food to make it taste?
So wait,
Don't
you
do that.
no. Okay, so if you're saying it like that, then why do you add chicken flavor as you told me to do to
'Cause
I
I
don't
want
know
to.
what it was, like soy cubes?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? It's
Why
a vegan
not?
food.
Okay,
Why not?
then why not add it to? I mean,
Yeah,
Sagi-
and
Sagi-
listen, Sagi, once I add that, then the food tastes amazing, and that's why I add it, because I want tasty food. So your claim that the vegan food is not tasty is wrong, because I
Can I
just
also
add
make-
spices, and the vegan food is fantastic.
so
Can I
what
also
is
make a
wrong with
claim?
adding spices to normal chicken? Like,
the
what-
point-
Absolutely
Sagi-
nothing. You
Sagi,
just
the
made
point-
the claim that chicken is tastier than vegan food, right?
Yes, but
Or
Sagi, the
something like
point the point isn't about necessarily your taste, what you get, and everything. Can you, for a second, consider the victims? Because veganism is about the victims. We're here to speak about the animal victims, the ones that get oppressed for you. Just moments before, you said that oppression is not justified by price. Is oppression justified for taste pleasure?
I don't know. I mean, I
mean,
would
why-
like to
why
think so,
don't-
but for some people, like, honestly, just being honest here, I don't see myself as being fully vegan. I would like to consume some kind of meat, like not every day. Yeah, I could maybe reduce the amounts of meat, but
Like
I
dog
don't think
meat.
What's dog meat? What do you mean?
Why? I think
Like
the question
killed,
is why
like
do
exploited and killed dogs, right? That's what you want to consume.
the question
It's
kind
not
of is
necessarily
like,
those.
why do you still want to exploit animals for pleasure?
Yeah.
That's the question that's being asked.
I mean, I will need to taste I mean, I really don't like lettuce and stuff. Like
You don't have to eat
plant-based
lettuce.
foods.
We've been explaining
You
to
don't
you
have to
just
eat them
now.
plain.
Bro,
I
I'm
don't like
about to-
vegetables pretty
I'm
much.
about to cook at some point today, and you're gonna see some fucking crazy shit on that pan.
I have a shawarma with beets and kimchi that I cooked before doing this. Like, what are we talking about? You can make excellent food on a plant-based diet. Excellent food.
I can't.
I mean, I would need to try it if I'm being honest now.
Do you ever
But-
cook, by the way? Do you ever cook by yourself?
Not complex foods, but yeah, like, yeah, pretty much.
What do you
yeah.
mean not complex foods? What are you talking about?
Not like, wait, I don't know how it's called in English. Let me see.
Fast cooked food.
Not stews. Is stews a good word? Like,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the easiest food to make, by the way.
I mean,
Like many
Throw a
like,
bunch of shit into a thing and add water and add spices, and then you
It's
come
fine,
back in
it's
an
fine.
hour.
I think it's fine. If they don't have a preference for stews, it's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
asking in general if they can cook, because many people who
Ah.
complain like this don't cook.
I mean, I can. I don't cook. I just make rice, chicken. I don't know, whatever I need. Like,
Oh man,
Eggs,
for real, you were talking about vegan food not being tasty. You eat the blandest food on
It
earth,
must be
like
mixed
rice
with
and
meat.
chicken.
No, he means it must be mixed with meat.
It's
to
just like
find the
sounds like a
taste.
miserable diet. You're on a
Anyway.
miserable diet. but
No,
you're telling me it's
nah.
Why is
vegan,
it miserable?
but they are on a
nah,
miserable
like,
Miserable
diet.
if I don't have rice, I make rice. I don't cook. That's what I'm saying.
Can we like whatever, Sagi? You have resources. Can we move on and talk about animals, because veganism is about animals, not about a diet. I'm sure you can find a way to make your diet work. You have ChatGPT, you have Google, you have so much information at your fingertips right now that to say that you don't know how to do it would be disingenuous. We provide you with resources. Let's just move on and talk about animals.
Sure, go ahead. I didn't say that.
Yeah, you said your claim was that being vegan must be sad or something, that you might not enjoy your food. That's not the case.
No, I
clearly.
asked you guys because I'm wondering, because I'm not assuming anything. I asked if
Okay,
it's
then no.
If it tastes, then
Yeah,
Yeah,
being
the
vegan
answer is
just as
absolutely
easy.
I'm
no.
against you, but I'm really trying to understand here.
Sure. So the answer is no. It's like an astounding no. Actually, much more.
Your voice is cutting.
Yeah, VPM, you keep cutting in and out. I don't know if that's intended.
Oh. Okay. I hope. I just said I enjoy food much more now. Maybe my mind not well connected. Am I still cutting out?
You cut out a little bit towards the end, yeah.
Shit.
Well, you know, some animals are made in a way so they can digest other animals' meat.
Here we go. So human.
We are made in a way so we can digest that meat.
So
why
human.
don't we
It's different. Yeah, sorry.
eat meat?
Sorry, jumping in.
So we can digest meat. You're right. None of us are claiming that you cannot digest meat. But do you think that the fact that you can digest meat justifies you killing innocent humans and eating them? You can, after all, digest their meat.
Eating your kind. It's not eating your kind. It's different.
Well, wait. But you can digest their meat, can you not?
And I'm not saying that you can eat all animals, because you know some animals, if you eat, you will harm
But
yourself.
human.
Yeah.
You can digest human muscle, can you not?
No, it's not really healthy for the human being. It will
Sorry, that's
destroy
not the
your
question.
sanity, and it will cause diseases and stuff, so it's harmful. But some animals, if you eat, it's okay, good for you.
But human.
So why
That's not the question that I asked. I asked you, can you digest human muscle?
Without diseases, no.
Yes, you can without diseases. Because the things that you cannot eat about a human being is the brain.
You can search for that.
Yeah, I did. I did.
With diseases and sanity.
No, you can eat human
If
muscle.
you avoid the brain, you can eat the human. Just don't eat the brain.
Exactly.
Easy.
Don't eat the brain. So now, but let me ask you this, human.
Human flesh.
Yes,
You
whatever,
will harm
human.
yourself, and you will have many diseases. You can't search for that.
So human, let's put. I'm going to put a hypothetical scenario out there. Okay, so I like puppies. Do you like puppies?
What do you mean, like?
Do you like dogs/puppies?
Well, neutral, actually.
Neutral. Okay. Well, you know what puppies are, right? Like you have seen puppies before.
Immediately a bad person
It's
who
really
doesn't like
neutral.
puppies.
I don't like, I don't hate. Like I don't.
Yeah, but you
really-
know how they look
Sure,
like.
but
You can identify a puppy if you see an image of a puppy.
Oh, you mean
correct?
if the shape looks like cute or something?
Whatever. Yes. So I'll explain to this. In this
Yeah.
hypothetical scenario, I
Preference.
like puppies. I have a preference for puppies. So what I do is I get a dog. I get them from a breeder. I get them and I stay with them. I give them the best life ever. I give them the best food that I can. I give them the most love, buy them the most toys, everything. And after they grow up, I realize that I don't really like dogs. So I take them in the back of my house, use a shotgun, kill them, bury them, and then get another puppy. And I just keep on doing this because I like puppies. I don't like dogs. So what I'm doing moral? According to you.
Well,
mean-
it's
no.
well, look, killing just for killing, it's not moral. right?
It's not
No,
for
it's for
killing.
food.
But if you're killing the animal to eat it, and you know it's the animal is not made for you to just hang out with, right?
What if I ate
So, for
them
example,
afterwards?
Cows are made for this purpose,
Oh.
and sheeps.
Human, can you
If
actually like
you
answer the
slaughter,
question?
if you try to slaughter a sheep, they wouldn't like all sheep come to and protest.
Sorry, can you
and
answer-
Say, no, save our lives and stuff.
Can you answer
the-
Chip's question?
They
Can
wouldn't
you
even
actually
defend
answer this
themselves.
question?
They wouldn't even defend themselves. Like they
Human,
would let
human,
you
human,
kill
human. I understand you have a lot to
sheep
say.
and eat it.
I understand you have a lot to say, and I'll promise you will be allowed to say everything that you want. But at this point, can you please
Thank
answer
you.
my question? Is it moral or not for me to
I told
take
you.
dogs?
I told you.
Yes.
I answered you. I told you
It's a
it's
yes or
not
no.
moral. It's not moral to kill just for killing.
Okay,
Not to
so it's not to
and
just to
for
killing.
and as I said,
no,
as I said,
human.
as I
It's
said
not just
before
to
as
killing.
well. Let me
It's not.
continue. Let me continue. As I said before, as well, like killing all. You can't eat all animals.
That's not my
Right?
point. First
It's
of all,
not
human,
healthy. It's not
please
healthy.
stop.
Especially like the example you mentioned, eating dogs is not healthy. Right?
It
Human, what
is.
was the
First of
question?
all, stop
Wait,
with this
wait,
No,
what?
it
nonsense.
is. It is.
If-
It
no,
is
hold on.
not.
Yeah,
You
So
can
what was the
guys,
question?
search. You can
guys,
search. You can
Human,
search.
what
Human.
was the question?
I'm talking about eating specific animals, right?
Okay,
Human.
Human, what was
Human,
the
what
question?
was Chip's question?
I answered already.
What
What
was
was
my
the
What
question?
was it? Can you please repeat his question? Sorry,
You
Felix, I keep
asked
going.
if it was okay to kill that dog with your shotgun because you're done with it, like you have nothing to do with it, right?
No,
Yeah.
he specifically said for food.
He said yeah.
Right?
He said
No,
yeah.
no,
Why
no,
did
no.
you
I did
say
a
no?
VPM. I didn't say for food,
Oh, you
but
didn't.
but
Okay,
let's
sorry.
but human. So what you're saying? Let's please continue with this. I understand you want to get to food. We'll get to food, but let's continue on this track for a second, okay? So you said it's immoral for me to kill this puppy because I no longer see they no longer serve me any good, right? I cannot benefit from them anymore because once they grow up as a dog, they don't really give me anything. So you're saying it's immoral for me to do that,
That's
correct?
part of it. That's part of it. Yeah, that's not
Why?
moral because it's
Why?
killing without the purpose of eating, and plus eating dogs is not healthy for human
Okay,
beings.
okay.
Right?
Wait a minute, human.
So
But what
it's
if?
yeah,
But human.
so
What if? Okay, so what if after I kill them, I eat them? Does that mean that what I did is moral?
it's not healthy for human beings to eat
But that's not what
dogs.
I asked. Maybe I want to be unhealthy. It doesn't matter. That's not a claim that we have to
that's wrong.
debate.
That's wrong.
Is it?
That's wrong.
Okay, so why is it wrong for me to kill a dog and eat them afterwards, but it's okay for me to kill a pig and eat them afterwards?
Killing other animals, specified animals, as I said, is okay because it's beneficial to your health.
Can you please answer my
It
question?
wouldn't affect you in a bad way.
Can you please
That's
answer my
answer.
question?
Like it's
No.
beneficial. It's beneficial to eat some animals and not beneficial to eat others.
So human,
That's why.
my question was, and I repeat, why is it wrong to kill a dog? Let's imagine that for me it is healthy to eat a dog, okay? Because you seem to be stuck on the health aspect. Why is it wrong for me to kill a dog and eat them, but right to kill a pig and eat them?
Because dogs seems not made for this purpose to eat them. And
What
killing
if-
just for killing, regardless if it's made to eat or not, just killing for killing is wrong anyways.
But I will tell
know,
you,
there-
but human, I will tell you that I have brought this dog into existence. I'm just gonna change the scenario because we went into a different because you couldn't answer
wait,
that
wait,
on.
wait.
So what
How
if
you
I bring
brought it
this
to
dog into
existence?
existence? Yes, I bring this dog into existence. You know what a breeder does? A breeder brings dogs into existence, right? So what if I brought this dog into existence specifically to kill them and eat them? Does that mean that killing this dog is ethical or moral?
Bro, you keep asking the same question. I gave you my answer. It's
But
not
no,
moral
your
because
answer
it's
was
not made for this purpose.
But
It's
it
not
is.
made for this purpose.
But it is. I specifically brought them for this purpose. I made them for this purpose. What do you mean?
If Chip is a farmer and he makes dogs to eat them, oh,
Can you
hello.
hear me? Hello, hello. Oh, okay, I
There you
lost
go.
the connection. Yeah. So eating dog, you made that purpose, but that purpose is wrong already because dogs are not made
Wait.
to
Who
eat.
said
them.
that
Why?
purpose
Because
is
it's
wrong?
harmful. Because it's harmful for the body if you eat dogs.
It is not. Do you
Or
have any empirical
cats.
evidence that it is harmful for the body to eat dogs?
Yeah, you can search for it.
No.
How
You make a
Oh my
claim,
dog's
human.
flesh.
Human, the
Well, you want
burden
me
of a
to
claim.
search for
Yeah, I want
studies?
you.
You want me to search
No,
for
human,
studies?
I want you to make a claim and use some empirical evidence to back your claim.
Yeah,
Otherwise, if you
You're
make a
asking
claim
for a
that is
proof.
clearly unfounded, then yeah, why would I ever trust your claim?
Okay. So if I bring you a proof that eating dog's flesh or cats, like other specific, not the animals I might agree to eat, okay, is wrong and harmful for your body, will you accept this argument, or
No,
you
of
will
course
just
not, because I
ignore
don't
it
really
completely?
care.
Okay,
No,
so
because we can move on.
why would I search for it then
Wait,
for you?
Because
I'm
because
interested.
I'm just one second, Felix. The reason, just to answer your question, Human. The reason
Why would
why
I give you
is
the
because
evidence if you
no
wouldn't accept?
you can give me the evidence and I'll accept it that it's wrong. I'll accept your evidence if you give me the proper evidence. That's not what I'm saying. I just don't accept that as a justification to oppress an innocent animal. Because do you think that if, like, let me pose the question this other way to you, right? Because you posed my question, and now let me pose this question so that you understand my point of view. So if you found out that eating dogs is healthy, would you then still find it wrong for me to bring dogs to life only to kill them?
Well, no. You know, because
So you wouldn't find it. Would you find it moral or
if
immoral?
I would ask you, if I would ask you, what do you mean by innocent?
They didn't attack you. They didn't do anything wrong to you. So you're not defending yourself. In that sense, I mean innocent. So yet again, if I bring dogs into existence only to exploit and kill them for food, let's say, would you say that that's okay? Is that moral according to your own values? In a situation where it's healthy.
Look, brother. I'm trying to understand your point, because you say dogs are innocent, they are not attacking you. That's why we shouldn't eat them. While plants are innocent as well, they don't attack you.
Dude, that's not what I said. Can you please track what I'm saying? That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Plants are living beings as well. So
human. I'm going to give one last try for you. This is the last question I will ask you. And if you are not going to answer, I will no longer have a conversation with you, because you clearly cannot answer questions or understand what I'm asking. So I'll ask it again. If I bring dogs to life for the sole purpose of exploiting and killing them and then eating them, and it is healthy for me, does that mean that what I'm doing is moral or not?
Okay, it's moral if that's your understanding, right?
According to you.
Yeah, it's moral because that's your understanding. If
So
that's
it's
your
moral.
baseline
Okay,
of understanding what is
So then-
moral or not. Like,
so
what is
then
your
let-
baseline of understanding what is moral or not?
So
Can
then
you
let me ask you any further, right? So if I bring humans into existence only to exploit and kill them, and eating humans is healthy for me, is what I'm doing moral or not?
This is hypothetical. Like you can't bring a
It's a
hypothetical,
hypothetical,
not possible question.
Hypotheticals are usually created to see people's logic and consistencies. So
Exactly.
If it's possible, I can take it. But if it's not possible, why are you?
What do you mean it's not possible? I can bring humans into existence.
It's not
what
possible
do you mean?
No. Well, first, you can't bring humans to existence.
It doesn't matter if it is.
What do you mean? That's what a human being brings another human being into existence. What do you mean?
Giving birth
Christ.
is different than bringing to existence. Right?
Can you please answer my question? So, in this hypothetical scenario, as I said, it is healthy. I have to cover all bases for you because you want to deny absolutely everything. Okay, so and want to avoid answering any question. So yet again, I will say I will answer this last time because I don't want you to dodge the question. So if it is possible, I'll add you. If it's possible for me to do so, if it's healthy for me to do so, if I bring human beings into existence only to exploit and kill them for optional food, am I acting morally or immorally?
No, it's morally if this hypothetical idea is possible.
True.
It's like saying, it's like saying if I
you're
stab
saying
myself,
you're exploiting and
will it
killing
be harmful
humans
or
for food, optional food is moral.
Let me tell you.
I'm done with speaking to this person. If anybody else wants to speak to them, I'm done.
Let me picture your question. Let me tell you how I picture your question.
It's
like
really
saying
matter.
if I stab myself with a knife and it won't kill me, is it okay to do so? It's okay, like do it. Like if it's not harming you, right? If it's not harming you, you can stab yourself. Okay, it's okay. It won't harm you. Like,
dude, your logic is way off. I'm bringing different.
It's your logic, bro. It's not mine. It's
guys,
Hold on,
guys,
Chief, hold
guys. I wanna address something, and we can move on to another person. Human, I have a question for you because I picked up on something, and I was just kind of quiet about it. If you find out today just today, if you find out hypothetically in a made-up world today that all animal products are bad for your health, are you going to stop eating animals?
Yeah.
Oh,
See, I picked up on it. Chip.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if
Good
that
one.
is the case, if your imagination is the real world, then yeah, but
Yep.
it's just an imagination. It's not real at all. We all know
What
that.
Oh,
post?
it's real. It's real.
It's real.
So
Prove it's real. Prove it's real.
okay, Post will stream on their screen a lot of systematic review studies, are huge fucking studies. Let's address the main ones. So Post main ones as in the biggest risks of developing health issues.
Okay.
Could you go?
Of course. So, let me know, human, when you're watching my stream. Oh, am I streaming? I'm not streaming. Hold on. Let me fix that. There's my stream. Let me know when you're looking.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
looking.
also put it on my
Okay.
live.
Awesome. So, let's start with cancer risk. Can I start with beef? Since people are most attached to beef or to like all red meat, right?
Fair
So,
enough.
yeah. So cancer is classified as group 1, group 2A, group 2B, and group 3. Group 1 is definitely carcinogenic, right? Carcinogenic to humans. Group 2A is probably carcinogenic to humans. They just need a little more evidence, and then they're going to add it into the group 1, right? So in case of processed meats, so like salamis, hot dogs, processed meats, whatever that means. It's group 1 carcinogenic, so it definitely increases the risk of especially like gastrointestinal cancers in people. And red meat is in group 2A, right? So that's beef, pork, mutton, things like that. And how did they reach those conclusions? They've literally wrote a book about it. So it's International Agency for Research on Cancer. So it's not just a random person with a blog. They wrote a book on how those processed and red meats are carcinogenic. And if you want, I can send it to you and you can download it and read it. Now
I remember. I read something about this. It's about the amount of consumption. If you consume above the limit you can consume daily or weekly, you will have a probability or a possibility to
everything.
such cancer.
It's always
It's
about those.
I can apply the same. I can apply the same thing to plants as well.
No, you can't unless you can prove it. Unless you can prove that.
Like some plants are toxic
edible
if you eat them. If you eat too much of them, they are toxic if you eat above the limit. You know that?
Yeah, you're gonna have to prove that, right? But what would
I can prove it.
Human, please. What do you think is the upper limit of when red meat, for instance, starts being cancerous? What do you think that is?
I told you. Like I told you, if you exceed the limit.
Yeah, no, I'm looking
anything,
for like a number. I'm looking for like a number because I'm looking to see if you know and if you follow that advice. Because if you don't, then you're a hypocrite.
No, well, I made sure that the number is below.
What is that number?
So what is it?
Yeah.
So it's maybe 100 gram per day maximum.
That's not true. 100 grams per day is considered a high meat eater. It's high. That's that's a lot of meat per day, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the limit, the way.
Okay, wait. Can you enlighten me? Maybe I forgot the number. You tell me.
The way International Agency for Research on Cancer.
Can you go slightly down? Like I saw some sort of that information there. Go down
Where?
a bit.
This is not about red meat. This is moving on. This is about other meats.
No, it's about the consumption, no?
No, this is about poultry meat, though. We are moving on, right? Now, we can look for this, right? If you want, Chip can provide you with evidence. But for red meat, it's 50 grams 2 or 3 times a week is the limit where it starts being cancerous to humans.
Okay. Grams per week.
Wait, I said 100 grams of meat in general, not just
per day.
red meat.
You said per day. We
Per
heard
day,
it.
meat in
That's-
general, not only red meat.
Yeah, that's. Oh, okay. I
This
got
whole
you. Okay.
movement of goalposts. Can we just move on? Like, if you don't, if you
Anyways,
if you
I can say
if you
the same
think you
thing, though.
cannot
I can
thrive
say-
on a plant-based diet, then you are literally a pseudoscientific quack. If you think you cannot thrive on a
Yeah,
plant-based
nobody
diet.
said you can't.
So if you can
Nobody
thrive on a
can say they
plant-based
can't.
diet, if you can thrive on a plant-based diet, how do you morally justify forcing innocent animals into slaughterhouses and taking their life for something that you don't need because you can thrive without them?
Well, you can't justify if you consider them innocent. Well, they are not innocent in that regard. They are made for this purpose. That's my perspective.
I have to jump in. Black people were made in some farms to be slaves. Are you okay with that form of slavery?
Exactly.
No, I'm not.
No, but they were made for this. They were literally made for this. They were selectively bred for this.
Okay, what I mean made for this, it's not harmful to eat that limit, right?
Dude,
But it's
I'm
harmful.
literally sure.
It's
Wait.
harmful.
Wait.
It's harmful. It's harmful for people to make them slaves. Obviously.
Wait, it's not harmful because one, they do it for free, right? Two, they get shit ton of money, so they get a huge benefit, right? And
Okay.
free labor.
and it's not harmful
you're
to me to.
advocating for that. You're
Wait.
advocating for that very well.
Are you
Okay,
saying
got
it's harmful? It's harmful for me to have slaves because it's not harmful for me to have slaves at all. If I'm a slave owner, it's not harmful.
It's
for
harmful
me.
for our kind. It's harmful for our kind.
For our kind,
Oh, so it's
then
harmful-
there it
it's
is.
harmful for the victims, right? It's harmful
What?
for the victims.
I mean, we are humans, special kind, right? And
Can you
No.
please
plants
answer the
are
question?
special
Is it
kinds as well.
harmful? Can you please answer the question? Is it harmful for my slaves to be enslaved?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Why is it not harmful for animals to be enslaved?
Because there are different kinds. There are different kinds.
So
made
why is
for another
why is
purpose.
a different kind make it not harmful? How
Yeah.
does it make it not harmful?
Well, depends on their purpose.
No,
are
what's the
made for us to
mechanism?
be
They
eaten.
Wait a
don't know
minute.
their purpose. Let's just make sure of that, right? They don't give a shit about you thinking that they have purpose, right? I'm asking if it's harmful to the animals to bring them into a slaughterhouse and slit their throats. Is it harmful?
Well, okay, to justify my point.
yes, right? Yes.
That it's not harmful. Why? Because
Is the answer yes?
For
Can you answer
example,
one fucking
for-
question?
No, I would. I think
The
we
answer
need to
is-
stop
it's
speaking
no.
to this
The
person
answer
because
is
they're being
no.
extremely disingenuous. If they think that an animal
No, no,
cannot
no,
be
no, let me-
harmed if you
I
give
want
them
to
a
explain.
purpose, then it doesn't really make
Bro, I
sense.
want to explain.
So
I want to
human,
explain to you why it's
human,
not harmful.
No,
yeah,
you
please
can't
explain to me how it's not harmful to slit somebody's throat. Please
They'll just say
explain.
it's
Okay.
a purpose. That's what they'll say.
You
And
know,
then it's going to be
if
circular.
if you break the chain, the cycle where
Mhm.
some animals eat other animals, it will break the environment, right?
No, it won't. Also, we're not in the
Well, of
environment,
course it
and
will.
if we, yeah, humans. If we only eat plants, we just create new chain. That's it. We're still going to be on top of a food chain. We're just going to be the bottom of our food chain is going to be plants and not animals.
But
And
human,
also-
human.
You can
Wait,
would
search.
actually-
You can search.
Hey,
You can
hey.
search for that. It's okay if you don't.
Human.
believe
Yeah,
me.
I
Human.
don't have to search for it. I
search.
know.
Do you
I
think-
know the. Yeah, go
As
on,
you
Chief.
like.
Yeah, so human, do you think animal agriculture exists in an ecosystem? Because as far as I know, animal agriculture is a closed loop system. We bring animals to life, we exploit them, and we kill them in a pretty closed loop. They have nothing to do with nature or any form of ecosystem. Do you think animal agriculture exists in an ecosystem? Please answer this question.
Well, yeah, it's you know.
What
it's a system,
ecosystem is
actually, as you
that?
described
What
it.
ecosystem is it? Please explain to me
Describe
how
it.
animal
Well,
agriculture.
It's a system. Like for example, like
But
tigers.
it's not
they
a-
eat,
Yes,
they
it's
eat
not an
gazelles.
ecosystem.
Tigers- let me-
Dude, it's not an
Human, come on,
ecosystem. Do you
talk.
know the difference
It
between
is.
a
It is.
system
It
and
is.
an
It is
ecosystem?
maintaining. It is maintaining the balance
Nah.
in the ecosystem.
We're wasting our
Ah,
It
time
is
with
one
this
of
person.
the elements of it.
Sorry,
We're-
if
Well,
I
you can
prove to you that-
you can guys,
Human.
like if you don't agree with what I say, you can search for the information.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying
no,
to
no,
you,
human.
right?
This isn't how
It's
it works.
fine.
It's not. You can't just make.
I'm not
You can't just
pressuring
make
you to accept
You can't
my
just make
ideas.
ridiculous statements and then say you can search for it.
No,
Okay.
don't call them ridiculous. I
They
can't,
are.
I can't call you things if you insist to call me things.
I
as
didn't
Hey,
call
human,
you. I
if I
called your
told you-
statement
Yeah,
ridiculous,
yeah.
and it is ridiculous.
If
I
I
can
told
say
you right
that
now-
your statement is
Human.
ridiculous then. and you
Human,
did.
be quiet.
It's
If I
fine.
showed you right now that animal production actually destroys the environment, are you gonna change your mind?
How so? Can you show me?
I'm
Yeah.
asking first. Can you answer the one fucking question? If I show you,
One,
are you
answered
gonna
many
change
questions
your
already.
mind?
Can you rephrase it again? Maybe I didn't get it.
If I show you that animal agriculture actually destroys the environment, are you gonna change your mind on it? So that you know, if you say no, then I'm not gonna bother.
Oh my god.
Yeah, come on.
Sorry?
You said your problem is environment, and VPM said, well, I'll show you empirical evidence of highest quality that animal agriculture harms the environment
Guys,
and thus needs to be
guys,
ended. So if you find out
guys,
that
guys.
the animal agriculture dude, can you
You
listen
can.
to my question?
Okay. I understand the question, bro. The thing is, animal agriculture might be done in a wrong way. You might bring to me those
Move
the
the
mistakes
goalpost.
people might do with it.
No, it's
Yeah,
extremely
Move the
disingenuous.
goalpost.
This person moves the goalpost every single question we asked, keeps moving the goalpost.
Okay,
Doesn't
go
mean
ahead.
anything.
Show
But
me.
by the way, I
Show
can
me.
prove
Show me.
that's wrong
Show me
as
how.
well. I can prove that, like, even if done right, animal agriculture is still like gonna destroy the environment. I can prove that as well. Are you gonna
How
change
so?
your mind then, or are you gonna
Yeah.
move the goalpost again?
If you manage to convince me, then yes.
Okay.
If
So
you
I'm sharing my-
one second. What does if you manage to convince me? VPM merely showed that they'll show you evidence. So if you see the evidence, does that convince you? Now, if not, if they try to convince you.
Maybe the evidence is not really related to what I'm saying, so I wouldn't agree on that.
Jesus Christ, keeps
Okay.
moving the goalpost. This is the embodiment
So what
of
do you
goalpost
say?
moving.
Well, you can try. You can try.
Yeah. So what are you saying? Just
It's a
make
waste
your
of time.
claim incredibly clear, please.
Like in what regard exactly? Like we had many points discussed.
So I'll ask you this, human. What kind of evidence do you want to see that would convince you that animal agriculture, regardless of the way it's done, is detrimental to the environment?
Regardless of the way?
It's done.
Okay, yeah. If you can show such evidence, I would agree on that.
There you go.
Okay. So, all right. Thank you, Chip. So let me stop showing this. So I'm showing the screen, right? I'm going to show you one thing, one food. And it can be pretty easily extrapolated to other animal foods as well. It's a little small, but I hope you can see this, right? I'm going to make it bigger.
Yeah.
Much better. There you go. Yeah. So this is supported by evidence, and I can send you the links if you want to the studies. So beef is one of the most environmentally degrading food on planet Earth, right? It just destroys the environment the most, both through land usage, through farm outputs, through animal feed, processing, transport, retail, and packaging, through all of it. And you can see, just to be impressed about it, you can see on the bottom are all the plant foods, basically, right? And so beef is our case report. And this beef includes both, sorry, I'm going to make it smaller. This beef includes both factory farming and grass-fed farming. Do you agree that both exist in the world, right?
Factory farming?
And just like good,
well, that's the wrong way.
Farming as well, right?
Yeah, that's the wrong way.
Also, by the way, it is not. Factory farming is actually better for the environment than grass-fed, FYI. But
yeah, we'll get there. No, the claim that I'm going to show it's the same. So beef, right? I need you to acknowledge. I just show you that beef is the most environmentally terrible food on Earth. Yes?
Based on what exactly?
There is research. I can send you the link, right? So hold on. Oh, sure. Sorry.
I mean, you're showing me this bar, and you're showing
I'm showing the
processes.
Graph.
These processes that might cause this bar to be that huge, right?
Human, please stop copying until I finished. So this, in the chat, I'm putting in this article, which on the bottom, as I'm showing right now, includes all the evidence for the claims that the article makes, right? It's science-based. You see all of this on my screen right now? All of
Again,
this is...
can you show me how is that not related to the process?
Plus,
Sure.
I can
So-
tell you. I can also add to this. If you know what IPCC is, IPCC is the Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change. It's basically the authority of every issue that surrounds climate change. And even they have a report, I think it's the 6th report, where they mention that a plant-based diet is monumentally better for the environment.
I agree on the reason they might tell me in that research. Like, for example, the CO2 emissions due to such processing in factories and stuff.
No.
It's,
By the way,
it's
not
if
the issue.
If it's a natural way to process it, what is the issue with that?
But that's not the issue. So the reason why animal agriculture is so bad for the environment, it's mostly because of the water use and land use, which essentially mean, because land use for an animal, a lot of the times you think, well, an animal doesn't need that much space. But, well, first of all, they do. According to you, you want a proper method, which would imply a lot of space for every animal. And second, for every animal, you have to feed them. And you have to grow a lot of crops to feed an animal. That's why it's incredibly unproductive and highly detrimental to the environment to do so.
Yeah.
And factory farming is actually tackles this in a pretty well way, because factory farming is monumentally better for the environment than regular farming, because it crams a lot of animals using less space. It feeds them using a single source of feeding. So essentially, you have less transport also for the animal feed. But like in the end, like I don't even understand how you can make a claim that, like, if you understand that animal agriculture is more like, you do realize that the energy that the animal takes in cannot possibly be equal to the amount of energy that the animal gives out, correct?
Well, let me explain. Again, if you
my
eliminate
God.
Can
the
you please
bad
eliminate?
process
No, that's
you
not
are
what I
going
asked.
through,
The best
you're not
process.
showing what I'm asking.
No, but
for. You're not showing.
logically, I'm
So
asking
it's
you a
talking
logical
about
question.
emissions of reducing gas.
I'm
and,
asking
you know,
you
Yeah,
a
they-
logical
Lead.
question.
Can you allow me
That
to finish?
gas
Yeah,
emissions
sorry.
is making
Human.
problems for the environment. I
Human.
agree
Person
with
is
that.
stupid.
Human.
I agree with that.
Human, look what I'm showing.
Let me talk, guys. Why you just want to talk?
No, because
This is nonsense.
because I'm not finished. I promised to show you that
Who's
the
talking
best
here?
practices, VPM, the best practices are still as environmentally degrading as non-best practices. That's what I'm trying to show you. So can you look at my screen again, please?
I'm looking to the screen. I didn't
Okay.
turn it off.
So this compared grass-fed, well sequestrating, best scenario farms in the US to feedlots. So to basically like the most factory farm. And the conclusion was, even with maximal credit, even they like give the best benefit of the doubt to the grass-fed beef production, right? Blah, blah, blah. Grass-fed beef is still no less carbon intensive than industrial beef.
Look.
So they are the same.
Okay, it's saying like 300 kgs of CO2 per kilogram of protein, right?
Mhm.
Is that true?
Well,
Is that
that's
what I'm
study
reading?
says, and you
Okay.
can check it out if you want.
Yeah, because of cows eating grass, right? Okay, I can understand that, because the massive production of cow's meat is the issue, not the production itself. That's first.
No.
Second,
No,
like, if
no.
you look to the same
No.
issue with plants,
No,
factories
you're
and
extrapolating
processed
wrong
plants
things.
as well, they
But you're
produce
wrong.
much
Finish
more
up. You're just
CO2 to
wrong.
the environment than what you
Human.
showed.
That's not
It's
true.
much
You're
more.
wrong.
That's
You're
not
wrong.
true.
You can see like,
You're wrong. This is
Yeah.
per kilogram of
and
food.
if you and plus you can fix
No.
such problem if you plant more trees, for example. You can
Jesus
fix
Christ,
it.
can we
you
just
can't.
drop this
Like
person? This
it's
person
not
is a fucking
really.
moron. Like, this person doesn't even know the fact that animal
Shut up,
agriculture
idiot! Shut up,
contributes
idiot!
to
You're
the
a
worst
fucking
animal
idiot! Don't
agriculture.
don't
Can we
insult
just
people
move
like a
on
fucking
from this
idiot.
person?
Respect
I
yourself.
just,
Respect yourself. If
I
my
just
opinion,
despise.
if you don't like my opinion, you don't need to insult
No,
other
you
people.
can't
You are
back up your
you are
opinion.
showing how you are so cheap and you can't have an argument.
My
right?
name is Chip,
can't
after
process
all.
anything.
Thank you for that.
Stop. Stop.
You're
Human, stop.
a cheap chip.
Human, we're just gonna move on to somebody else
Yes,
because
let's just move
you
on.
keep moving the goalpost. You're not providing evidence for your claims.
Thank
Your
you.
opinion is great. It's amazing, but if it's not backed up by science, then
Exactly.
it's worthless. And we
Exactly.
showed you all the science that you need to change your mind, and you haven't. So let's move
Yeah,
on to somebody else.
I can
we
show
showed
you, but
everything,
you are not
but
willing.
you're not
I
willing
told
to
you I can
change.
show you proofs, but you're not willing. So why
No,
should
no,
I
no, no. Put them in the chat. We're gonna
follow
go through
myself?
it. Put them in the chat. Let's go. Put them in the chat and I'll
Yeah,
go through
yeah,
it. I
yeah.
promise.
So, human, just provide
Yeah.
empirical evidence for your
Truth
claims.
hits hard.
Otherwise, let's move on, because no, truth does not hit hard. We have
It
several
does.
empirical evidence. You are a person who, again, does not know the basic the rule of thermodynamics. The energy that you put in a system cannot possibly. Do you understand that? That the energy you put in this animal cannot possibly equate to the energy that you get from them. They left.
I think
Okay.
they left. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. I dislike these arguments of, well, I'm showing you empirical evidence, and they're like, well, let's move the goalpost. Well, I'm showing you empirical evidence for this. Well, I'm gonna move the goalpost. No, that's just people trying to find excuses for ridiculous things.
Yeah, let's continue with somebody
I got a
else.
bit angry. Sorry about that.
Oh, I told you, he broke you, Chip.
It's just I dislike people who spread misinformation so much, and especially when they do it with confidence. Like, oh, I'm gonna, like, it's essentially what Trump and all of these assholes are doing today, and they're ruining the world for everybody. So I dislike people like that a lot. Yes.
All right. Somebody wants to defend the slitting of the throats of animals for us?
Also, when I say Chip, I'm gonna do something on camera.
Maybe Life Learner wants to say something. She's going berserk in the side chat.
No.
Oh, she never says anything.
Yeah, she never has the
I know.
courage to actually debate with us or to have conversations.
I know.
But she's a transphobe, everybody. So
Yeah, she is.
Just,
Yeah.
that shows that her
That's
epistemology is crap. Anyways,
Exactly.
so
anyways.
I just saw a post today on Twitter that somebody said, well, bad nutritional takes usually go hand in hand with anti-vaxxing, usually go hand in hand with like transphobia, usually go hand in hand with a bunch of stuff. And yeah, it's true. Once you have shit epistemology, you can't reach a good conclusion ever. You just shit.
I just like, can we make a rule for ourselves that if somebody moves the goalpost more than 3 times, then we stop having conversations with them? Because I just feel like we're wasting time, and we wasted time with that person, and I got a little bit upset, and I just don't like wasting time. Yeah.
Is there a debate topic at hand? I just joined.
Yeah, so what we're saying is that we're discussing veganism, and we're saying that if you can thrive, well, the question is for you, let me ask you, who that boy, if you can thrive on a plant-based diet, how can you morally justify exploiting and slaughtering animals?
I think, so I live in America, I think it comes down to a economic standpoint. I literally have had friends be like, hey, like I would be vegan or eat more plant-based, but the price barrier is just too high for some people, especially those that have kids and family.
So what if I told you that what if we can show you empirical evidence, but maybe that you don't have to trust the evidence yourself, but what if we give you resources to help you thrive on a plant-based diet within your budget and within where you live in US? Would you then see it as a moral obligation to stop oppressing animals?
I would say that, like, sometimes humans forget that, like, we're part of the animal kingdom, and animals kill animals every day.
So you don't really care that it's not about the price range, right? So if you find a way to make it work, a plant-based diet within your price range, if you find a way to make it work with your health, with whatever your situation is, then you still want to continue oppressing innocent animals for something that is essentially optional to you. So what is your moral justification for that?
I think morally, I just think that in America, I just think like when it comes to animals, I think some animals are livestock and some animals are pets. I think even in the animal kingdom, you'll see like some animals kill for I would not say pleasure, but some animals in the kingdom are overzealous when it comes to like eating, like hyenas and whatnot. I just think that like it's a part of a balanced diet. I mean, we have canines for a reason, and
Okay,
why not use them?
So you dropped a couple of things there. Okay, so let's start one by one. Okay, so you said some animals are made pets and some are made to be eaten, right? Who gave them that purpose?
I do understand that like it's more of a cultural thing. I know like in some parts of the world they eat other animals.
So who
I
gave
think
them that
humans
purpose?
like humans, we divided them up like that.
Okay, so do you think that if an oppressor gives a purpose to the oppressed, that their purpose is to be oppressed, that morally justifies the oppression?
I don't think it morally justifies the oppression, but I think that eating one cow could feed a family of people for a year as compared to like
That's not what
one
the
field of
claim is.
rice.
That's not the claim is, right? So we're talking about morality here. If you want to tackle about nutrition and how much
Oh, I mean,
land
if you want to talk
actually
about
an animal product
morality,
uses, yeah, morality. So morally speaking, you said that your first statement was that some animals are pets and some animals are made to be eaten. And I asked you the question that if an oppressor gives the purpose to somebody to oppress them, does that morally justify oppression? And you said no. Okay, so can we move on from this argument that some animals are pets and some aren't?
yeah, we can.
Okay, so now the wild thing. You said in wild, I'm assuming that you're mentioning because in the wild, animals kill and eat other animals, right? So I have
Yeah.
a question for you. Do you think that morally justifies us killing and eating other animals just because animals do it in the wild?
Yeah, because I believe humans are a part of the animal kingdom.
I agree, humans are animals. So then, do you think that rape, which is also part of the animal kingdom, which is also happening in the wild, would be morally justified to do for the same reason because animals do it in the wild?
No, I wouldn't agree to that.
So then, why is it that it's not justified to rape, but it's justified to kill for optional food?
I just think that when it comes to just quantity of what you can get from killing an animal versus being plant-based it's just better. And I think
Okay.
also like health-wise as well, I think when it comes to protein and the things that we need to be strong humans, we kind of strive off of animal protein.
Okay, so we can move on from the wild argument. You're saying it's not a good argument. The fact that animals kill each other in the wild is not a good enough justification for us to kill animals, correct?
No, I think it's a great because I think sometimes humans we distance ourselves from the wild or from the animal kingdom, and I think being able to see us as being a part of that circle of life, definitely as humans, just like wolves keep the deer population down, humans kind of keep the animal population down in general to avoid overcrowding.
Okay, so then I bring it back to you again. In order to stay close to nature, and we as humans should do more things that happen in nature. Grape is one part that happens in nature. Infanticide is another thing that happens in nature. Should we as humans commit grape or infanticide in order to be closer to nature or because other animals do it?
I wouldn't agree with that, but I also don't believe every animal in the animal kingdom participates in grape.
That doesn't matter that every animal and not every animal also participates in killing other animals for food. In fact, most animals in the animal kingdom don't. So why would it like I'm just trying to understand because your argument is that because it happens in the wild, we should be allowed to do it too. And when I bring something else that happens in the wild and thus we should be able to do it too, you seem to not agree with it. So that means that that's not the argument, correct?
I just think that we can be an animal species that can thrive off of animal protein while balancing morality and not participating in things like grape.
But yet, why? So then I'll ask you this: why is grape immoral, but killing for optional products is moral?
Grape is immoral because it is. Grape is immoral because you are impeding upon another person's body without their consent.
What if it's grape of an animal? Because I'm assuming you would not call an animal a person. Is graping an animal moral?
No, I think that's also immoral.
So why is graping an animal immoral, but slitting their throat for optional products moral?
Because slitting their throat provides great nourishment to ourselves and also for those around us, as compared to grape is more of a selfish thing to do, as compared to killing an animal is more of a
Can I jump in? Thing. Can I please jump in? You can make a claim that graping an animal actually improves your longevity because you get a lot of exercise.
Yep. Yeah. So what if I get so much benefit from graping an animal? Does that morally justifies me graping an animal?
No, that doesn't.
So if that doesn't morally justify me doing something bad to an animal, why all of a sudden, if I get again optional benefit from killing an animal, why is that justified?
I feel like killing an animal, you do so for yourself and for your
same for grape.
Same for grape. I feel like graping's more like a selfish thing. Like it doesn't really benefit anyone besides the person graping.
When you do something for yourself, that's selfish. That's definition.
Yeah. So if I kill an animal, so let's take a chicken, right? If I kill a chicken and only eat them myself, then it's immoral, correct?
Can you repeat that, please?
If I kill a chicken and eat them myself and only me, then it's immoral, right?
No, because it's providing you nourishment.
Wait. But so yet again, you said just now that the reason why one is moral is because it provides benefit for a lot of other people. I removed the other people and I said it only provides benefit for me. And all of a sudden, we're left with two situations. One is graping an animal and one is killing an animal. Both of them provide benefit for me. And yet one is moral and one is immoral to you. Can I ask why? Both of them violate the rights of the animal. So why is it that one is moral and why is immoral? One is immoral.
I think graping an animal, it's just you're using that animal for some sick benign pleasure, as compared to eating the animal, you're using the animal for nourishment.
Well,
both actually could be argued to be selfish, but one has an actual benefit to your body, and one's just kind of
as Felix just mentioned, graping an animal will provide benefit for my body, and I can also get nourishment from eating a plant-based diet. So therefore, when I choose to kill and eat an animal, I don't do it for nourishment. I do it either for convenience or because I like the taste of their flesh. So is convenience or the taste of their flesh, which would be applicable also if I want to grape an animal, right? Is any of this a good enough moral justification to violate the rights of an animal?
I would say not.
So then if you can, so then I come back to this, right? So if you can get nutrition from a plant-based diet, how can you morally justify exploiting and killing an innocent animal when you don't need to?
Can I also say something real quick?
Sure.
If you're trying to justify causing unnecessary harm for optional product, you would land in the same way how a person would justify graping animals. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. No, I'm seeing your guys' argument. You guys are making sense here.
Yeah, so that's the whole point about it, right? Like I feel like we have been told we live in a society where, I don't know, for whatever reasons, and I don't want to go down into the reasons why we're in this situation, but we're in a situation where we're committing an immoral act and we're justifying it in all sorts of ways. But the reality is we are essentially choosing to take the life of an innocent animal for something that we don't need. Whether we whether that something it provides nutrition, whether that something provides pleasure, whatever that benefit we get from it, it's still an optional benefit. We can always get that benefit from other sources, like eating plants. So how is that ever morally justified than to do what we do to animals?
You would just have to eat a lot more plants than you do animals.
Perhaps. I'm not like we can go also down that route, but let's imagine that that's the situation. Is the fact that you would have to eat a little bit more plants, does that morally justify taking the life of an innocent animal?
I wouldn't say so, no.
So I think we've exhausted a lot of options over here. Is there really any justification?
Yeah, no, you're making a lot of sense.
Yeah. Is there any justification? I appreciate you saying that, by the way. And I appreciate you being open-minded to the conversation. So is there any moral justification for us to continue this violence
I
towards
guess
animals?
if you, well, yeah, I guess if you just put it in a way of just like, these things are optional and you don't really have to. I guess there is no real moral way outside of, like you said, doing so for selfish reasons.
I appreciate you saying that. Right. So here comes the hard part, right? Because right now we've gone through some of the things. You've mentioned your values here, and they are great values. They're just like every other people here who's vegan values. You have vegan values. You're saying if we don't need to kill an animal, maybe we shouldn't. That's essentially what veganism is. If we don't need to use an animal, maybe we shouldn't. It's as simple as that. Let's just give them the bare minimum respect, leave them alone, and we can use something else because we can. So if we provide you with all the resources needed to thrive on a plant-based diet, or all the resources needed for you to go vegan, is there anything holding you back?
No, I wouldn't say there's anything holding me back. I'm pretty open-minded.
I appreciate this conversation. It's so much better than the other conversations we've had so far. So I appreciate you for that. Yeah. So this is the hardest question, I guess, of the whole. How many more animals should be exploited and slaughtered for you until you go vegan?
I don't know, kind of like putting that question, like, you kind of have me thinking about going to the grocery store and maybe picking up some more plant-based options.
Yeah, the reason why I pose this question in this way, by the way, it's because, a lot of the times when we think about we eat animal products, or even in these discussions, we talk about such a big generalizations of animals in general, but we forget that each individual animal is somebody who can feel, somebody who can feel fear, somebody who has emotions, somebody who feels happiness and joy. They even feel love. So when we clump them in together like this, we lose their whole individuality, and that's the reason why I asked this question. It's not to put you in a corner or something, but just to get you to acknowledge that even if you buy one animal product per week, one per month, that one individual will still lose that individuality for the choice that you made.
Yeah, it's like, in a way, like generalize, lumping them all together. It's like a way of dehumanizing them, make them easier for consumption instead of seeing them as sentient beings.
Exactly. Man, I like you. I open-minded person.
Oh, Chip got his good conversation finally.
I mean, it's
by the way, Human, I'm going through your link, so give me a minute.
It's just like, it's so logical. That's the thing about it. I feel like I just hate it that people don't see the logic. It really, yeah, takes kills me. By the way, who that boy? I'm gonna drop a thing in the comments right now. It's called Challenge 22. They hook you up with a nutritionist. They send you recipes every day, and they help you adopt a plant-based diet for free. And they help you stay within your budget and everything that you need. If that's ever you don't need to do it, but if you ever have any concern for that they can help you out with that.
Awesome. Are they like based like internationally? Like someone would fit my time zone, or?
Yeah. So they're an international organization that has activists all over the world, and I think what they'll do is they'll put you in a Facebook group with other people who have a similar situation than you, maybe that by time zone, maybe by, I think, 2 or 3 other people. And they send you recipes, they ask you how it's going, if you're having any difficulty, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for the resources. I appreciate your time.
Appreciate you, man.
So, Human, are you still here? Human? I don't see them. All right, I guess I just fucking wasted my time. Great.
I called it from the start. This person was not being
Yeah.
genuine.
Yeah.
But you tried, and I appreciate you trying, VPM, and you know, that's all we can do is try to get people to get the perspective. Who else here thinks that it's wrong or that maybe it is right to kill animals for food? Nobody wants to talk.
Anybody? I guess we win again. We just won.
That's what
Holy shit.
I mean, it's a pretty logical argument. I don't see why we wouldn't.
Off-topic
Life learner, are
comment.
you gonna stop being a coward and you're gonna talk now?
Yeah, Life Learner is for everybody listening or hearing on the stream or something. Life Learner is a person who comes into the stream every single day, does not listen to arguments, just wants to say their thing, and is not courageous enough to have a conversation with us ever. They just want to come in there, say their thing. And also, by the way, Life Learner is a homophobe, just to be clear. So yeah.
Off-topic comment. I look fucking swole.
Dude, those Bulgarian split squats were insane, huh?
Bro, you know what I do? I actually put a plate over, like under my foot when I squat, so it's a deeper squat as well, which is even worse. It's fun. I like the pain. It's fun.
You like the pain. No pain, no gain, bro. Hey Dodo, are you vegan?
So the event is vegans versus non-vegans, and nobody is speaking. Great.
Mm-hmm.
I guess everybody agrees that the only way.
Come on.
I love this text. It's
Debate a vegan. Is that what you're?
Yes.
Nova, did you say something? Was that you?
Yeah, I said yes.
Yeah. Are you vegan, Nova?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, nobody's speaking.
Nice.
Mm.
Nice. A lot of cool people.
But man, you look weak. That's what I gotta say. When's the bicep at, bro? When's the bicep at, man? Hmm? Anyways, continue.
I have a fun little proposition. If someone convinces Chip to be non-vegan, I'll give them a Steam game today, right now.
That would be interesting. That would be very interesting.
Let's see how that goes. Oh.
Now, Rega, are you talking to us? If not, please mute.
Não, a galera tá debatendo aqui em inglês. Eu quero.
Yeah, if you're talking to us, talk to us. Don't, but like if you're hot micing, then mute, please. Okay?
Agora, por quê? Ah, não, é só uma falta do... Ah, tá.
I think they don't know.
Yeah.
Meu Deus, eu tava falando.
That's actually a very interesting proposal that you made, Felix. I like that. So can anybody convince me not to be vegan? I'll listen to arguments, but I'll also respond to them. So can anybody convince me of that? I guess not. Guess not. Nobody can.
Tyler,
I'm just
Mr.
gonna
I mean X-ray.
say it again.
Nah, I'm just naming people. Like if they're in the VC, they can come and talk.
Okay, I have to ask VPM and Chip, since I'm just kind of curious, how hot is it over there? Because it's bloody boiling. Yeah.
Boiling.
Yeah, so for me it's 23 degrees in my room right now, but it's I think 27 outside. Let me see. Yeah, 27.
Oof. Damn.
It's pretty hot, yeah.
Yeah, it's 30 degrees in my room and it's about 32 outside.
Oh, it's 38 degrees in here, India.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, go on.
Nah, it's fine. It's not much. I can chill at 42.
Yeah, actually, it like depends on like other factors as well. So, for instance, like in Europe, 23, 24 degrees is fucking boiling, right? In the UK, for instance, right? Where I am, 30 degrees is boiling. But I was in climates before where it was like 38 degrees and I was totally fine.
Lady Butcher.
Yeah.
When I hear you say, I'm just chilling in 38 degrees, I just imagine you wearing a jumper and jeans.
Damn.
Zohaib765. Do you want to have a conversation with us? I see you typing in the chat. Do you want to have a conversation with us?
We welcome it. We're very nice. We don't bite. We don't
We do
bite
not.
anyone. Unless you ask us to bite you.
No,
Yeah.
I'm still not gonna bite.
We value consent a lot.
Oh wait, hold on. I've noticed something. Chip, do you see the side channel? Lifelina's like, I prefer Felix over this conversation.
Bro's interested, bro. She wants to visit you, bro.
I don't care about this VC, but Felix though.
Oh, yeah.
You got
Felix is
yourself
hot as fuck.
You got yourself a bigoted follower. Good luck with that. So for everybody who's in
wait till she finds out how many trans friends you have, Felix.
Oof.
Woof, indeed. That would be.
For anybody who's in my stream, if you want to join the conversation, there's a link in the description. Come join the conversation. You might need to wait, I think, 10 minutes before joining. So check the description, join, wait for 10 minutes, and then you can speak.
I think if they use this link, I'll paste it in the side chat. They can instantly join the PC.
Oh, okay. If you can give me that link, that would be amazing. Yeah.
Well, you can produce that link yourself, Chip. You can just like right-click on the name of the channel, and then you do invite people. And you can't do it through the app though. You need to do it through the like your browser.
Yeah, I did that, but I don't know if it works. I put it yet again. I put it there. Let's see. I sent it again to everybody.
Wait, what's he saying? What's Zohai saying about me? I have no idea.
I think most people who come in here and they want to say stuff and are triggered by the fact that either you cannot thrive on a plant-based diet or something. I don't know what the whole point. I think most people don't really understand what veganism even is. So, VPM, can you explain what veganism is to people who are listening?
Sure. Veganism is rejecting the exploitation and slaughter of animals as a principle, right? Oh no, I just used a variation of Leslie Cross definition. Oh well. So there is more nuance there, but basically speaking, if it's possible and practicable for you to be vegan, meaning being on a plant-based diet, not buying products from other things as well that are exploited or slaughtered animals for them, then you should. That's what it means.
Is it expensive to be vegan?
Now it's generally cheaper, especially when it comes to clothing, for instance. You just stop buying leather, which is expensive, and you start buying faux leather that can be more expensive, but also can be cheaper.
Nice.
For food, it's generally speaking about 16% cheaper.
It's going to depend on the place where you live, but yeah, in general, it is cheaper.
I also want to say something. I think someone wrote something in the chat. If someone actually thinks I've built all of this muscle on a non-vegan diet before I went vegan, before I was vegan, I actually have an image of how I looked like a month or two into veganism. And whoa, it's a complete different change. I would be comfortable sending it to people who I feel comfortable sending it to. And yeah, they can literally, like for example, Post. I can send to Post the image of how I looked, and they can literally explain the difference because it's huge.
Same.
Go.
I built my muscle on a plant-based diet, brother.
I'm building my muscle right now.
So, okay, Chip, I'm gonna continue working out. There is a claim, there's a question for me, but I want you to take it, please.
Okay, sure, I'll see it. When you were building your body, did you get your proteins from chicken and meat, or did you eat plants? So I stopped eating meat since I was 24 or 25. I don't really remember. I'm 37 now. So I definitely built my body without consuming any meat. Meat isn't even the best source to bulk up or to build muscle, if you think about it, because meat is usually pretty high in calories. The only meat that is not high in calories and high in protein is like if you eat chicken breast, and most people despise eating that. So I generally think you'll have a better time. You'll be moral. You won't exploit and slaughter sentient beings simply by getting all your protein requirements from plants and plant-based products. All plants contain all 9 essential amino acids that the body needs to thrive in varying amounts. And if a plant contains less amino acids, you can get them from a different source and make a complete protein. But there's also complete proteins from plant sources such as soy. So yeah.
When they say incomplete proteins, they just mean that like leucine and lysine are a little lower than in animal products. And we also have research. Sorry for breathing heavy, but I'm working out.
You
we
too?
also have
Everybody's
research. Yeah, we also have research, and I'm showing it on my screen if anybody wants to see, where they compared complete protein with incomplete protein, and there was no difference in growing muscle and strength. So
yeah, there's several studies showing that. I think if you ask any science-based lifter, they'll tell you the same, that you can of course get all the protein requirements you need. And let's imagine that you don't. Let's imagine that in a situation you get less protein on a plant-based diet. You will still build just as much muscle. It will just take a little bit longer. I think as I mentioned yesterday, I'll mention it today also, most of the time people have trouble building muscle because they don't train hard enough, or you know, they don't stimulate muscle hypertrophy, which is, you know, it requires certain elements to it. Maybe heavier weight, maybe a little bit more reps. But if you do 2 more reps, you might be tired. It's a whole thing. Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, Chip, Mike Israetel, for some reason, still thinks that plant proteins are inferior proteins. Somebody should talk to that fella.
Really?
I know he's a big guy, but he loves debating, so.
I mean, yeah.
Didn't he debate, who was it?
He debated vegan gains once, but I don't think they were talking about the protein, and I don't think we had all of this research yet when he debated vegan gains.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's kind of weird to think you can't, like, you have to have some form of misunderstanding on how to build muscle if you think you can't build muscle on a plant-based diet.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, nobody was born knowing stuff, right? Like, that's essentially the issue that I have with animal agriculture, is that they sell us this bullshit.
Well, to be fair, we're not sure that it's like animal agriculture who performed all of these studies on the rats, from which they derived the knowledge, quote unquote, that plant proteins are less bioavailable or whatever the fuck, all of that bullshit. But luckily, we now have research on actual humans, and we can give 2 humans 2 different diets and compare their muscle strength and size, and there's no difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said that if a human being needs 200 grams of protein, how can I meet that requirement? Well, I don't know. You eat a lot of food. There's not one particular food that gives you more protein than another. Yesterday, I had 270 grams of protein. The day before that, 320. The day before that, 330. And the day before that, 280. I have at least 250 grams of protein per day, and I am not struggling to get my protein in. So, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think the fastest way, if you're concerned about protein, the best way to consume it is by drinking it.
Depends on the protein, I would say. I don't know.
Well, if you want a really thick sludge of protein from pea protein, you want to drink it, you can. That's a pretty fast way.
Yeah. Somebody in my chat is saying you don't need 200 grams of protein. Of course you don't need 200 grams of protein, but even if you think that you do, you can get that. That was my point. I think a lot of the times, personally, when I like to talk about veganism, I don't like to talk about these things, because these things are always, there's 2 sides of the story. There's the why and there's the how. And then the how, you can find a way. Like, let's face it, we live in a world where you can easily find a way to make it work. It's the how that's interesting, it's the why should you stop exploiting animals? Why should you give moral consideration to all animals? That's the important part, if you ask me. So,
can I ask you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you a quick question in relation to nutrition, but I want to lead it back to like animal rights, right? Why were there so many articles saying that Americans are not eating enough protein?
I mean, I don't know. First of all, I don't know why there's so many articles saying that. I think because most Americans, as far as I know, they consume not fast. I wouldn't call it fast food, but already prepared food, right? They go into a chain of restaurants. Like, literally, wherever I've been into US, most places, you walk by these restaurant chains and there's cars waiting in line to pick up the food. And I think the problem is with these chains is that you don't really know how much protein per calorie you're getting. You might know that you're getting 50 grams of protein, but then you might also be eating a lot of calories in that process, because they want to make it taste good. And quelle surprise, we as humans like fat. Fat tastes good, but fat also has 9 calories per gram. So every gram of fat you add, it means 9 calories. So my theory is the fact that most likely people eat a lot of fat in US, but I don't know. I cannot back my claim with that.
And now here's a follow-up question. Then if this article was everywhere, why do you think the keto community used that article and spread it everywhere? Because they did. They did.
I'm guessing because the keto community is all about saying that consuming protein and fats is healthier for you or something. I don't think that it is. I think consuming protein and fat is only protein and fat is an easier way to lose weight if that's what you're going for. But even if you want to eat only protein and fat, by the way, you can still do it on a plant-based diet. It might be a little bit more difficult, but you can still be keto on a plant-based diet.
Hello,
But
everyone.
I don't think that, but I don't think that claim has been like supported by the evidence either. Actually, we have studies that compared like plant-based diets versus keto diets, and the keto people actually lost a little bit less weight. Actually, it was like an ad libitum diet, so they could eat like how much they want, and like the plant-based dieters ate approximately 700 calories per day less. So, yeah.
Somebody in the chat is asking if I'm working out hard but not getting enough protein, how will my muscles grow? That's my question. Well, you should get enough protein for sure. That's not what we're claiming. I think you can definitely, if you want to maximize your muscle growth potential, then yes, you should get more protein, just also to be on the safe side. But the whole point that I was making earlier, if that's your response to that, is that even if you don't maximize your muscle growth potential, it doesn't mean that you can't reach your maximum muscle growth. It will just take a little bit more time. So, yeah.
So, Chip, it's probably worth mentioning that like the differences between like 1.2 grams and 2 grams of protein per kilogram or something like that, right? Are minuscule. They are tiny. It's an increase in muscle size that is really, really small, right?
Yeah, it's like dose response, and at some point, there's like a diminishing return as well.
Yeah, so we are slaughtering billions of animals a year. We're exploiting and slaughtering billions or trillions of animals a year for tiny, tiny gain increase. That's fucked
You
up.
know what's even crazy, Post? You know what's even crazy? I would not mind losing half of my muscle if billions of animals just still got to exist.
Same.
Same. I can continue being a scrawny dumbass. I don't mind.
I don't even.
Some people really care about the.
Oh, cheap. Would you lose all your, like half of your muscle if it means that trillions of animals are spared?
100%, yeah. I don't really care. My muscles. So I don't build muscle to build muscle. My muscles grow because I don't know. I just build muscle easily. I might have a genetic thing where I build muscle easier, but I mostly just do for strength training, and I think you can do strength training without building a lot of muscle anyway. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If it was the case that eating children would get me 5% more muscle mass, I would eat children. Muscles are the most important thing in the world.
Somebody's asking me if I'm
cynical,
natural.
by the way.
Yes.
They're sarcastic.
Well, I would even do it like for 1%. I think like and children have probably like good creatine. It's probably like good creatine absorption, I guess, if you eat them.
Does anyone here have a question about veganism? Do you think you can be an animal lover and kill animals at the same time? Or eat animals at the same time? Anyone? No?
Everybody's scared.
We need to continue to yap, I guess.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna entertain everyone for a little bit. So theatrical today, I know, right? Yeah. So in relation to veganism, we shouldn't exploit animals. We shouldn't use animals. I don't see a big issue with some animals going extinct if it means that they are no longer exploited. I think all domesticated animals should be vegan where it is possible and practical. Yeah. Any other? So cats should be vegan, dogs should be vegan, if possible, snakes as well.
Oh, we don't have enough research on snakes. Shit.
Well,
We
I
need
said
to make some. Yeah.
if, right? So what I mean by it's if we can produce a lab-grown chicken, we can just throw that into the area. But here's a really interesting take. You want my interesting take, guys? You want my I think if we have a species of animals, and the reason why they only live is to be kind of like domesticated. So like koalas, not koalas, pandas. Sorry, pandas are a great example. We barely have any wild pandas, and if we do find wild pandas, we just capture them because they're going extinct. Yada yada. So what we're doing right now, it's putting pandas into basically a zoo, so we can keep breeding them and we keep making them for visual pleasure. So I don't see pandas going extinct as a bad thing. If the only reason that they're there is to, be used for visual pleasure.
I would like to.
Can I ask you a trivia question?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like like the Auroch, the Bos progenesis, something like the ancestor of the cow.
I think so.
Do you know where the last one of those lived?
I'm not sure.
In Poland. Like
Oh,
around 400 years ago.
So,
Caleb, can I ask you for something?
Yes.
So your mic has the front and the back, and when your ear thingy is off, you tend to talk to the back of it, and then we hear you really badly. If you could find the front of it and talk into that would be.
Is this better? Is this better?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a little
I
better.
think it's
Yeah.
also because I sometimes press on this, which kind of lowers my mic, so I have to
No, we can hear you. Here's the thing: we can hear you moving the cord, and we can hear you less. So you're not talking into the front of the mic. You're talking into another place. So you should talk. Yeah, exactly. You should talk into that place. That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
So everybody, since nobody wants to talk to us, I actually wanted to do a little bit of experiment with somebody, and since we have so many awesome vegan people here. Oh wait, do we have somebody who wants to have a conversation with us?
No, I just wanted to add something on Felix's thing. I guess my mic wasn't working. I also think that if you for snakes, for example, it is unethical to, no matter what, it is unethical to own a snake because there's no plant, there's no diet and no possible way that we could feed them on a plant-based diet at that point.
I got something for you. I got like a tennis ball shot back to you, right? If an individual has to have a snake in their property, a vegan would make much more ethical choices towards the snake than a non-vegan. So what I mean by that, it's a non-vegan would probably don't really care about the sourcing of the meats or whatever that the snake consumes, while the vegan would actually consider those things into consideration.
So what is the question?
So what do you mean by ethical sources?
So what I mean, it's like not a non-vegan. If they had a snake, they would just give them whatever food they
live mice.
Right.
They're gonna give them live mice.
Frozen, live, whatever. While the vegan would kind of consider more like what is the more ethical ways of me, feeding the snake.
Wouldn't that be welfareism?
It would be.
No. Well, there are if you look at it, there are meats that you can get that don't have moral implications. For instance, you can go total dumpster diving for your snake, right? And going behind
roadkill or something like that.
Roadkill.
Yeah, or
Putting it like
roadkill.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I don't see how a snake is different from any other animal, in a way that they need nutrients, not ingredients. So you
Right, but
could
there
find a
is
food,
like,
a well-formulated
but
food for a snake.
right, but
They also
is there?
Sorry, go on.
But is there like any scientific data that like a snake can like again, like I agree with you, they can digest anything as far as as long as they get the nutrients.
Yeah.
But what nutrient would they require?
I'm
Well,
guessing the
like,
I
same.
do we
don't know. Don't know off the top of my head, but whatever are in animal products, there could be a food that can be like formulated that has all the nutrients that a snake has, and then like put it in a bowl because they like swallowing that shit. I guess they don't even taste it, so it's not even gonna be a matter of taste. So yeah, and it's gonna give them all the nutrients they need, the way it gives
But
us
then,
as vegans all the nutrients we need.
but where I would say is that the health, like, it wouldn't provide a net benefit to have a snake as a pet.
No, but I think the
Like,
whole
that's
If,
point.
for instance, sorry, just one more point, Chip. So if, for instance, somebody have a snake pet, right, so a companion snake, and then they go vegan, right? So they should like start being more ethical towards the snake as well. But you can't ask them to just kill the snake or just throw the snake or give the snake away. That's the companion animal, right? So they can make the choices within the choices they made before they went vegan. It's like you wouldn't expect a vegan with a cat to like choke their cats to death just because, you know.
Well, no. But the only thing is that a snake isn't domesticated like a cat is.
Before we continue, I want to see if any non-vegans is in the channel and wants to talk about veganism. Anyone interested? If not, we can continue. And also, Lady Butcher is going to change the title of the event to something more fun.
Brahim, I see you new here. Do you want to have a conversation with us?
Oh, hello. Ooh. Okay, so also Chip, just to let you know, check the title of the event because that's going to be kind of correlated on why people are coming in.
Yeah. So does everybody agree with the fact that if you're not vegan, you're supporting needless animal abuse?
Nah, actually not.
Okay, thank you. So Hater Obelix, what do you think being vegan is?
Like, I know it's important to care about animal lives and how they get treated, but there's an ecosystem. Like, I think a lot of weird shit can happen with like the extinction of the of eating meat. You know.
So what is veganism? I asked you, and you did not ask me. You did not answer that.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe
think
we can go from there.
veganism for me in my thoughts, for me veganism is like supporting don't wait, I'm Brazilian and I'm struggling a lot with English, sorry. But it's like
No worries, you're doing great.
don't eating animal based stuff, like, but I don't think all animal based meats are sorry, I got shy.
That's okay. You're doing great.
But you know, I'm not against vegans or I'm not pro meat eaters. I just think you can do shit right, you know, you can do it right in the right way. You can do it without hurting animals and
So wait a minute. So Hater, veganism, I'll explain so that you understand. Veganism is a moral position. It's a moral principle where we say exploiting animals, and that means being using them in a unjust way.
yeah.
We try to reduce that as much as we possibly can, possibly and
It's
practically
nice.
can,
Nice.
right? So is that like, let's imagine a scenario. Do you think that every person on this planet and or yourself, let's say yourself, do you think that yourself,
Yeah.
that you should try to reduce the amount of animals that are exploited for you as much as you possibly can?
Okay, it's nice. It's nice. After first, thanks about it. It really cleared me in a lot of positions. But what I think about is, I came from a place like here in Brazil, even in Goiás, that's the state I live. We are very big in either the part of like growing animals and farms and stuff, or and either planting vegetables, planting rice, planting shit. I think with veganism we can develop a lot of problems too. Like we have, if like my point is, if you can just go and plant a lot of things, just plant based, not non animal stuff. You'll have to get off a lot of trees to make space for it. So more people will consume, will demand more vegetables.
So
Vegetables, you know?
so if we show you data that you will be better off, that it will be better for the environment to adopt a plant-based diet, would you then still want to continue oppressing animals?
I don't feel like I'm oppressing animals. Like, I when you buy from big enterprises and stuff, their animals are grown for it. Like they have a life. They train. They like they don't just go and kill the fucking animal. Like they, you know, they grow for it. They are like they die in a scientific way to death. And the animals are die anyway. Like
But let me
they're
ask you
gonna
this,
die.
because right, like first of all, yes, animals die, but we're not talking about animals being dying. We're here talking about animals being brought into existence only to be exploited and then killed, right? Would you say that bringing an animal to life only to exploit and then kill them for something that you don't need, is that cruel?
But I think we do need that because
We
like
can go down that route. So we can go down that route whether we need to or not. But can you answer my question? Let's assume that we don't. If we don't
no,
need
yeah,
to,
I do like vegan food. I do like vegetables. I do like, but there's some proteins and some healthy shit that comes from meat that's not
but Hater,
like,
can
you
you please
know.
answer my question? I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but like I asked
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah. No,
if
sorry. I got lost. Sorry.
that's okay, that's okay. That's kind of why I asked this question, is so that we don't get lost in the conversation.
Thanks.
So
Thanks.
if you realize that we do not need to consume animal products, then would you see it that what we do to animals, like bringing them to life, using them, and then killing them, would you see that as unfair towards them?
Yeah, maybe if you give them shitty lives and you treat them poorly, like
Even if you give them a good
that's not
life.
what's happening.
Let's say you give them a good life. Is it fair to give an animal a good life and kill them at a fraction of their lifespan for something that you don't need?
But it's like, let's talk about clothes. Okay, so you against leather clothes and stuff like,
Yes. Yeah, we
so
don't do
you
we do
affect every industry, like, you know.
Yep, he's moving the
I'm
goalpost. You
First
dodged
of
your
all, like I'm
question.
not a hunter. I won't like go in the wild and kill an animal. I'll go to the market and buy my meat like right like a normal person.
But Hater,
But
I'm sorry for interrupting you there yet again, but I really need an answer to this question. So if we don't need to consume animal products for whatever reason, food, clothing, whatever reason, it doesn't really matter, right? If we don't need any of it, then is it moral for us to choose to kill, to exploit and kill animals, knowing that we don't need to do any of it?
but then what are we making clothes of? Like we'll be turning not all clothes, but like a lot of
Other
shit comes from
materials.
animals.
Other materials.
Yeah.
That's not the point. Let's say you have other materials readily available. You have everything else that you need. Is it moral for us to continue exploiting and slaughtering these
Not
animals?
moral. Like it was never moral, I guess. But shit happens, bro. Like we live. Humans always like it was predatory. Like is I don't know. It's hard, but I'm a vegan fan. I like vegan food. I eat vegan food a lot. I don't eat as much meat. I do my part, like, but I don't know. It's weird.
So the reason why I ask you this is because if you say it's immoral, then all that is left for you to realize is that we don't need any of it, right? So if we provide you with evidence that you can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet, and not just evidence, maybe even help for you to survive and thrive on a plant-based diet, right? I'm assuming for clothes, you're aware that there are several alternatives, both for leather
Yeah,
as well as clothes, right? Like I'm assuming you have a lot of cotton t-shirts and stuff because that's the most common one, and
yeah.
that's a
Yeah, yeah.
plant.
I don't have
So
leather clothes.
yeah, exactly. Me neither. But I'm not judging if somebody has whatever. It's up to them. They can just choose vegan leather. So if you have all these resources available that can help you be as healthy as you can be, and on a plant-based diet, then would you still want to consume animal products?
Like kinda, because I love meat, bro. Brazilian meat. Our culture is around meat. Like, even all states have different barbecues. Goiás barbecues are the most known, but we don't go and like just kill a cow to do a barbecue or kill a pig or stuff. Go buy our meat and do it. So
But would
I
that
think it's
would that be a moral
good for
action?
health.
Like if you like the taste of their flesh, is it moral for you to kill them just because you like the taste of their flesh?
I won't need to. I don't know. I won't kill an animal. I'm a coward. I couldn't take a life, I guess.
I also couldn't take a life, by the way. But what I'm trying to say is that you
But I
can.
love fucking meat.
Yeah, but when you buy a product in an animal in a supermarket, let's say, or wherever you buy your product from, an animal
Yeah.
product, you do acknowledge that you're essentially paying somebody to kill an animal for you, right?
Yeah, like those animals, like if you realize, like if those animals they couldn't live in the wild, like what a cow is gonna fucking do in the wild?
But that's
Or a
not the point,
pig,
is
there's
it?
no space
Because
for them.
yeah, but we bring
Better
this.
kill them and feed them people.
But we bring these animals, we bring them to life ourselves. We can't say, but this animal cannot live in the wild, because the whole process involves us bringing them to life and killing them at a fraction of their lifespan, all for something we don't need, right? So I
But
merely
they
want to
came from the
understand.
wild.
No, these animals are animals that we have at some point in our human history. Maybe they were wild animals, but they're very much
Yeah.
domesticated animals right now. We control the breeding process. We bring them to life. We take their life, and we they don't have any form of freedom or anything, even in that small amount of life. We tell them where to be. We tell
And
them what to eat. All of this is any of this. Does any of this really justifies? Is any of this
I
justified
think
just for taste pleasure?
no, I think it's nice. It's not just for taste pleasure, I guess. And I don't mean to just disrespect you in any ways. I think I agree with you in a lot of stuff, but there's some points I guess in nutrition and stuff you can't get with a vegan diet, but
Like what?
it like, bro, let's talk about like muscles and shit. Uh, a lot of a lot of data proves that vegans like if they don't find a good way of protein and shit, they can't get like less protein, less nutrients, because a lot of nutrients in meat, like a lot of like good stuff, like
Can you see my
from us.
camera?
And it's fair. It's fair.
Can you see my camera?
Yeah, you're a strong guy. You're a nice guy. Yeah, buffs checked.
All built
Damn.
all built on a plant-based
All
diet, man.
built, bro.
You can
I'm a
definitely
fatty.
get everything that you need on a plant-based diet, right? So, and
Yeah.
there's studies for that. I'm a certified nutritionist. Like we're
Ah,
not
that's
making
nice. That's nice.
we're not making we're not making unfounded statements. We're merely trying to say that there is enough evidence for that.
Yeah.
So,
And I agree with you. I agree with you. Like that I may express myself in a wrong way because English is not my first language. But um what I was trying to say is like it's not only for the pleasure of like the taste and stuff. Yeah, it tastes good but a lot of families like I can put in various realities, like, but in US and in Brazil, eating healthy is fucking expensive, dude. Like, you have families here, they got like money for two people to eat, and they got like 6, 7 feet on the people on the family.
but
So it's
so hater, maybe that's the case for some people, and if I speak to them, I'll tell them just like what I tell you. If that's your situation, and I provide you with resources to help you stay within your budget and be healthy, would you then consider going vegan and no longer oppressing animals?
yeah, but yeah, the thing about oppression animals, like it's what like science nowadays have developed so much. So I don't we had a lot of like bad examples of people that have these big companies and you know that mistreat their animals and stuff, and it's got to be punishments for that. But if you do the right way, like you can please the vegan community and like try to
But
low
listen,
the damages, you know.
this isn't about
But you can
pleasing
get it.
us. This isn't about pleasing us or pleasing any human being on this planet. What we're trying to say is that when you are choosing to buy an animal product, which is optional because we can show evidence for that, you are paying
Yeah.
for an innocent animal to be exploited and killed. It's about that animal. It's not about us vegans. You shouldn't care
That flesh
necessarily
will
about
be
what we
already
say.
there, like even if I bought it or not.
Say it
So
again.
if I don't buy it, somebody will buy it, so it won't
But it
stop
doesn't
like
really work that
killing
way.
people.
Well, so there's two things to be said here. First of all, you live in a
Yeah.
supply and demand market. You choosing a
Yeah.
plant-based diet would mean you could be saving up to 100 animals per year. Of course, animal agriculture will still continue, but you could be sparing 100 animals the exploitation, abuse, and slaughter that they would be suffering otherwise. That's one. And
Yeah,
two,
yeah.
you also have to ask yourself what kind of person you are. Do you like? I understand everybody supports exploitation and slaughter, which is needless for defenseless animals. But do you really want to be that type of person who supports violence for animals just because it's easy or because you get some form of taste pleasure from it?
I don't know. It have a lot of depths to it, you know, because I can agree in a lot of ways and disagree in a lot of ways too. Like it's tough for me because I live in a country in a state basically that is involved around agriculture and like I forget the word when you like grow meat. No.
You mean like animal
So
agriculture?
animal agriculture, thanks. And so it's very common to us. This
Yeah, but like
since everything's so
that, I understand all that, right? Like it's I live in the Netherlands, I get
like
outside.
people here have a scientific ways to kill without pain and without suffering, like
But
you know.
hater, killing? Do you think killing is only bad if the individual that you're killing feels pain? Because in my opinion, killing isn't bad because the individual feels pain, because you can kill without pain, you're right about that. But in my opinion, killing somebody is bad because you're essentially saying your life is not important and you're disregarding their will to live. You're saying my taste pleasure, my whatever reason is more important than your whole life.
Because okay, we come from a point we are coming ah Okay, let me point it this way. Sorry, I'm very being careful because I don't want to be too disrespectful. You're such a kind person.
You're doing great, by
I,
the
I
way.
really,
I
I'm really
it's
enjoying this conversation. Like, it's, I love to agree to disagree, you know. And I think the point about eating meat overall, uh, when you buy from big companies and stuff, they they are making an ecosystem that don't harsh those animals, you know.
but
You know, I
again,
know that there are some few points that harsh a lot of animals. They mistreat and but the demand is gonna exist, you know.
but I gotta ask you this because hater. So let's say, do you consume dairy products? Let's just go through this. This is the easiest one. Do you consume dairy products?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
why?
yeah. They,
Yeah. So you live around farms. So why do cows produce milk? Like, what's their biological
yeah,
reason?
yeah. Usually we 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 hardly drink milk like only in the mornings and
No, no,
stuff,
no.
but
But why do
with coffee and
cows?
shit.
Why do cow? So I want to talk about the animals. Okay. So why do
Yeah,
cows
yeah, yeah, yeah.
produce milk?
To feed their babies. Yeah,
Exactly, for their babies, right? So do you think that cows
yeah.
get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers decide for them?
Nah, they, I, and I know there's a lot of like ways people use to like make the cow feel she's in some way that she produces more milk, and it's bad for them. That's what I disagree with it. Like,
But
you
I
don't
ask you
have
a
to
question.
force.
So do you
Yeah.
think that cows get pregnant on their own, or do you think farmers decide when they get pregnant?
No, you know, they usually they don't even get the cows pregnant for their milks. Like they have like some farms do it, some farms don't. You know, you
But
have
cows
some.
cannot produce milk if they don't have babies. Cows only produce milk
No,
for their babies.
that's what I'm talking about. Like I'm gonna get in a very sensitive topic here because they have this thing. They stimulate the cow with heat, and she will make milk.
No, no, no,
So
no, no. Cow does not
this,
produce milk unless they have a baby. They're a mammal. They're just like all other human beings on this planet. A human female will only
yeah,
produce milk after they had a baby. It's not that if a human female goes into a sauna, all of a sudden they produce milk. Milk is only produced because
no,
of certain hormones that their body gives after they gave them
yeah,
birth.
yeah. But like here in Brazil, or here in Goiás, we have some like they closed this milk factory because they were like after the cows gave birth, they will heat something and put into there, and you know, and they their body will feel like they're pregnant and stuff, so they will start
Okay.
producing milk.
So you agree that
So
cows need to get pregnant. So my question was, who do you think gets them pregnant? Is it the farmers that get them pregnant, or is the cows get pregnant when they want to?
but yeah, they impregnate them, and the most bro.
Okay, so they impregnate them. You
Cow
answered the
semen
question.
is fucking expensive as fuck.
Okay, so they impregnate them. That's one thing. You're right. What do you think happens to
Yeah,
the
cow
babies after
semen is
they're
fucking
born?
expensive.
What do you think they do to the babies
They
after
will
they're born?
grow. They
Do
will
you think
grow like and
do you think
get
babies
smarter
stay
one
with the
day.
mother?
Nah, but they have to stay near them because the cow will stimulate and stuff. So
Yeah.
I grew up. My family had one like little milk farm just for like living, and it's different because some big companies they do keep they in the same spot. Some companies don't. So
Yeah, so let's imagine. So they, what you said, right? They forcefully inseminate the cows, right? They forcefully inseminate them.
yeah,
Most of the times they take
yeah.
away their babies so that they don't drink the milk, or they keep them separate enough so that they don't drink the milk. Let's say that they don't do that, right? If the baby is born male, they don't produce any milk. So what do you think they do to them?
So I don't know. Like it's tough.
I
It's
think you
tough.
know. I think you know what they do. Come on, you know
It's
what they
tough,
do.
bro.
They kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they kill
Because
them.
like
And let's just go through this whole process for a second, okay?
They
So
grow them, and they grow. They gotta feed them, and they feed them like bread and stuff, and they kill them. So
yeah,
it's the process of life.
and if they're, well, it's not the process of life, but like, because nobody's killing you or killing other babies on this planet in order to have the milk of their mother. But let's just go through it. And if they're born female, they suffer the same fate as their mother. Every year they get impregnated. Every year they get killed. Every year they have their babies taken, and every year they get exploited for milk. And at some point, they also kill the mothers. Do you know when they kill the mothers?
Okay, but let me. They kill the mothers. Like usually cows from milking, they are not good for meat. So they will die from old and shit.
Well, they don't keep them old, because
not
once they
good
can no
for them.
longer get them pregnant, they won't produce enough milk, so they kill them.
Yeah.
So that happens at like a fraction of their lifespan, because a cow, no cow body was meant to be impregnated 7 or 8 years in a row. They're maximum twice or 3 times throughout their whole life.
But okay, but the like, what are the well, if we can extinct like this slaughter thing and stuff, what are we gonna do with them fucking cows? Like,
Wait. But we
they
went
will
through
live,
what happens with dairy cows.
that's
Do you
yeah, but okay,
do you think it's
it
moral
is
what we do
it is
to them?
bad. I know it's bad because like but what you're gonna do with them, like?
But wait, so if it's bad, why do you want to continue participating in it?
But if I don't participate, once it won't stop existing. So
But
it's a I don't
but
know.
but can't you make this statement about any other thing on this planet? If I don't grape is not gonna end on this planet. There's a lot of injustices happening on this planet. Do you think that
Yeah, yeah,
you
makes sense.
supporting an injustice all of the sudden makes it won't make the injustice
Right.
that much
I don't
bigger?
think I support. I don't think I support really, but I don't like.
You give them money.
I think we can.
You
Yeah,
sup-
we can find ways to
Is that not support? If you give them money, is that not support?
No, yeah, but it's kind of support, but shit. Well, I don't know.
But why are you giving them money? You don't need any of it. You have alternatives. Why on earth would you give people money to sexually exploit cows, manhandle their babies, and then kill everybody in the process? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I guess meat is fucking awesome.
So
I think
So
so
fucking crazy.
I
yeah,
think
go on,
that's the
Srong.
real reason, right? I think, yeah, like,
Yeah,
bro,
but
like,
it's
Chip's been so patient with you. Like, I think the real reason is just you really like the taste of meat. And, like, even if you care about animals, you don't know if you have the strength or whatever it is because you just like the taste of meat, right? But I think Chip has mentioned before, you can live healthily without it. Do you think you can enjoy food without meat, though?
yeah, you can like a healthy lifestyle.
Not just a healthy, but do you think like, vegan food can be delicious?
Bro, I have tasted some awesome vegan foods,
Okay,
and I
that's
tasted
amazing then.
some
Why is it so hard for you? Yeah, so
horrible.
why is it so hard for you to just enjoy those delicious vegan foods and leave the animals alone? Right? We've went through all the reasons. There isn't a single reason you've given that justifies the animal abuse, right? You yourself agree that what's happening is bad. And you say, well, meat is tasty, but you know that you can enjoy food outside of it as well.
Nah, but I came to some vegan places that are whack, bro. I'm sorry, but there's
Yeah,
some
but
good places,
wait,
bro.
wait. What?
There's some
That's
good
such a
places, bro.
stupid statement, right? You've had meat dishes that are whack as well, bro. Not all food is equal. Like, no one here. Are you really like? Come on, bro. No one is saying all food tastes amazing, right? We're saying
Yeah.
that
I
good vegan
didn't
food
bring it for the
exists.
fun, man. Really. I
Yeah,
didn't.
okay. So we're saying good vegan food exists, and you agree there, right?
Yeah, I agree, bro.
Okay, so
I just didn't hear it.
why can't you just eat those delicious vegan food, right?
This meat is awesome.
Okay, but do you think that what's happening to the animals is terrible?
Yeah, like in some ways it is, in some ways it isn't. Like, okay, it is a tough point because it
I
wouldn't
don't
go
see anything
anywhere,
tough
you
about
know.
it. I don't see anything tough about it because if you
It's
can, you're not
like
missing.
it isn't pointless, but it's not. It wouldn't go anywhere, you know. Like it will be coming
What do you
rounds
mean?
and rounds. Like it is a circle conversation, you know. It never like it won't ever
Well, I
end.
think you're
Like
refusing to acknowledge, right? If you know that there are
I
victims for your
acknowledge like
actions,
there is there is cruelty in a lot of manners and
But can you
in
at
a lot
least
of shit.
can you at least
But
admit that you
okay,
are supporting the cruelty?
that
Can you at least admit that
yeah,
you
support it. I
support
support
animal
it. I'm a
cruelty?
carnivore, and
Yes, I
yeah, I
support.
do. But
well,
let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. Um, you okay? We are not eating meat anymore, and we have to grow more plants. We have to turn off
no,
more
we don't.
forests,
No, we
plant
don't.
more.
No, we don't. Wait, no. Look,
How
what do you
would
think
we?
these animals are
Yeah.
eating? Like,
Like
just think before
those.
you ask these questions, bro. What do you think these animals are eating? They're eating our crops. Did you know that we use more land to make the food that you feed your food? It's so much more efficient to eat.
Yeah,
Look, bro, there's all of these reasons, right? They are all baseless, right? Like we've had this conversation 1,000 times, right? Chip has been very patient with you, but I think you've just admitted yourself, right? You are someone who
no, I
pays for
admit it.
oppression.
I
No,
admit
no, yeah.
it.
You admit that's great, right? I appreciate the honesty. But what's the next step, right? If you are someone who's admitting
Eating
that
meat,
you
I
pay
guess.
for oppression, well, don't you think you shouldn't pay for oppression? Don't you think you should live a more moral life? If someone is out
I
there
think
and they
I
like beat their
will.
wife, they're beating their wife, and they say, you know what, I am a domestic abuser. I know. Well, shouldn't we tell them that? Okay, well, stop doing that then.
Brazil also
Yeah,
has
like
like some of the greatest cost associated because the environmental cost of Brazilian meat is
Oh, bro,
catastrophic.
if you're from Brazil, bro,
yeah,
meat is
yeah,
destroying the Amazon rainforest, right? The number one reason
yeah.
the Amazon forest is being deforested is for soy farming, right? And who's eating all the soy? It's the cows. Brazil is the number one exporter of beef.
Yeah,
They they they
I just
decimate
sold like
huge parts of
millions
the
to China
forest.
from meat. Like
So it's not just
packages
it's
of
not just the ethical
cows
reasons,
from
it's the
China.
environmental reasons as well, right? Like all of these
Yeah,
reasons point for you to move away, right? Do you want to be someone who pays for oppression? Is that something you're happy with?
I don't know. I'm glad with my barbecues,
Well, I
but
didn't ask you if you
I
enjoy taste,
understand you
right?
guys. I understand you guys. Like I respect you guys. I really enjoyed this conversation. It was nice for me to learn more about this shit because I was very ignorant, and I understand that because I came from a place that's cultural, you know. Like
But wait, if you're no
Well,
longer
everyone does,
ignorant,
bro.
if you're no longer ignorant
yeah,
right now and you understand the issue, what are you now because you are part of the issue?
it will be hard for me to
Grabe
turn
yung
vegan,
salta
bro. It
ignorant.
will be fucking hard for me.
Um,
Okay, but okay, so look, that's understandable, right? Look, I think wait. I think we all empathize that it can be difficult to change to a new way of eating, right? But it
Yeah,
is the right way. And if we help you, right? If we give you aid, like you know, unlike some people, right? You're actually a little bit more smart because some people I talk to, they're really stupid. They say you can't enjoy vegan food. All vegan food tastes bad. But you know that you can live healthy and there is good vegan food, right? So you're
Please,
already at a
no.
better start. Now,
Hey,
if we
there
were
I
are,
to
think
offer you
uh,
even
everything,
more help,
wait,
I think
let me talk
everything in the
first.
world might have like great outcomes and bad outcomes. You know, everything like even
yeah,
veganism,
and
even
some of
eating meat, it can have great and bad things to come with it. You know, so
well, we
I
we
think the
discuss all the
important thing
bad
is
for
to
me,
respect
right?
each other.
The,
Like,
do you respect
Hey,
the animals though? What
The
is
Japanese,
this,
do not full, the Japanese, they are not full vegan, but they have the
Jake?
highest
Jake,
there.
you're interrupting. Like, is it alright if I could just have this conversation one on one, please? No worries, thank you. Look, Hydra, you said respect each other, right? Respect each other's beings. But are you respecting the animals? You don't even see
yeah,
the
for
kind of
sure. I
oppression
pray
you
to
put the
God
animals,
before
right?
I eat them.
No, but that you're praying to God does not help the animals in the slightest, right? When you pay for these kind of products, these animals are being tortured to death, right? They're being slaughtered, they're being bled out
It's
to
not,
slowly
bro.
die.
It's just like they have decided where they kill them without it knowing. Like they be there, oh, man, shit, I'm dead, bro. I mean, being slaughtered. You don't put a. If you kill the fucking cow in the wrong way, the meat will be horrible. Like she will be tense and stuff. If you
Bro,
want
can you
that
stop?
like
Look,
soft
can you
meat,
stop being so
you have to
selfish?
kill them like.
Right? Wait, listen. Right. No one here cares about how much you like the taste of it, right? It's not about how
No, it's
well
not
that you
because
can.
I
Wait,
like
let me
the taste.
finish.
Because
Let me
if you kill
finish.
them in
Let
the
me
wrong
finish.
way, it will be
Bro,
shitty. Like
I don't care if it comes out shitty meat or good meat, right? You're looking at this for how you can get gain from it, right? You're looking at this, okay, you know what? I don't care about the animal suffering. How do I go about it so I can get good taste from it, right? It's
yeah,
not
because
about
like
you here. You're
okay,
ignoring what happens to the animals, right? You're saying respect
okay,
other
so
beings, but do you care about what the animals do? No. You just care
okay,
about
so
how you could get the
let me
meat.
point in this way. Let me point in this way. Sorry. You have a big farm. Let me put this way. You have a big farm and I make money with this meat. I go and kill my cows in a bad way. Like I torture them and I slaughter them. They will be fear. And with fear, they tense all up. When they die
Bro,
tense, their
you don't
meat's
get my
awful.
point.
So
Dude,
you
dude,
have to
hater,
find
hater,
scientific
hater,
ways
hater. So
to kill them
what
like
Silver has been
softly. Like
saying, hater, what Silver has been saying is that you talk about these animals as if they are objects. You don't really care about them or their interests. You're simply saying that if I kill them the wrong way, I don't get what I want. Or if I don't treat them nicely, I don't get what I want. You seem to only be thinking about you and your benefit, but there are innocent sentient victims on the line. So I think Silver posed a really good question to you. Do you actually care about any animals or anything other than yourself?
care about my dog, my cat, I don't know, but
Anything
before I
other than
got a cow,
yourself?
Okay,
without
so
cow,
what if
like
I bled look, what if I cut your dog up and I
what if
did
I
it the
kill a
right way,
cow,
right?
like
I bled him and it makes good dog meat. Is that okay then?
nah, bro, it's my fucking
Why
dog.
not? I
What?
did it the right way. I prayed.
No, but the right way, like okay, uh, I I have a farm that grew dogs, and I have this way that they don't fear, they don't see come, they just like flip dive, like so
Okay,
like
sure. So I'll put your dog
no
in this
danger.
farm then. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
We'll put your dog through this farm. The dog's not gonna know when it's gonna happen, but it's okay then, right? If I do it the right way, I'm allowed to eat your dog then.
okay, like if it's not like coming from a torture place,
Bro, you would be happy for someone to eat your dog.
I don't know, bro. Like China people eat dogs everywhere, like.
Yeah, but and we disagree with that, right? South Korea only last year they banned dog meat, right? Are you someone who
Yeah,
would say, you know what, that was a
obviously,
bad decision? That was a bad decision. You know what, they should keep eating the dogs. In fact, take my dog. Let's eat some dog meat, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was just messing
Okay, so
around,
it
but no.
doesn't. Yeah, well, look, we're having a serious conversation, right? Like, I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
For you, this is all fun and jokes, but there are victims, right? And
That's
that's the
not funny
thing.
joke. So sorry. Sorry.
No, but you keep ignoring what happens to the victims, right? You keep refusing to see the suffering that these animals have to go through, right?
Like, can you
It's
point to me?
funny.
What would the victims do if we stop it? Like, how it's
Well,
gonna be?
okay, great question. Yeah. So, what would
Back up,
happen if we? Yeah, sure. So, what would happen to all these people who, if we stopped paying to eat them, right? Well, one, we wouldn't be breeding them in the first place, right? They wouldn't come into existence into this deformed, this like body that's already been selectively bred for that's for our purposes, right? Not there. They get born and their existence itself is going to be full of suffering because of just how they're genetically been made, right? With huge udders that hurts them, that pressures them, right? With legs that cannot support the weight that they have. They won't come into existence, right?
Okay, so you telling it's better to we don't have cows anymore than we eat cows.
Oh, Absolutely, not cows. Remember, it's domesticated cows, right? Like it's the same with like it's not just cows. It's the same with any animals, right? Pugs with the noses they can't breathe, or small dogs who have leg issues because we've bred
Yeah,
them because
yeah.
we think they're cute like that, or sheeps who have so much wool that they have to rely on us to shear them, others they die from the heat, right? All of these animals, we force them to rely on us, and we exploit them for that, right? I think it's better that we don't breed these unnatural form of animals, right? I think it's much better to
Okay.
just let them be in the wild. And these abominations that we've selectively bred, let's just
So
not do that anymore, right?
that means that you let the lions and other animals to feed on them, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not, right?
No,
No
no.
one here mentioned putting them to the wild.
You're telling me that you're
Thanks
just
for
letting
saying
them
that in my place.
No. So essentially, what Silver has been saying, by the way, is that we selectively we bring these animals into existence only to exploit and kill them. If we stop doing that, these particular animals will no longer be brought into existence. Full stop. And it's obviously a better choice because we bring them into existence only to exploit and kill them. It is insane that we do that, don't you say?
Okay.
Don't you think so?
But let me give you,
You didn't finish.
something
You
that's
didn't
happening here
finish
in
the
my place,
sentence.
and you're
Like
going.
after
I want to
saying
hear
it.
your
Wait,
opinion
wait, wait,
about
wait.
it.
Wait,
Yeah, go
it's
on, go on.
fine.
Go on. Sorry.
This guy just said we killed them. You didn't finish the sentence. We should say we killed them and then we eat them. Like that's the full sentence.
I don't care if you put their carcass in your mouth hole. I don't really care what you do after you bring them to life to exploit and kill them. Our problem isn't what you do with their carcass or their deceased body.
Yeah.
Our problem is the fact that you
Exactly.
bring them into existence in the first place only to use them and kill them. The fact that you treat them like objects when they're
okay.
individuals.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
So
Silver.
here's the thing. So you're telling me that the living thing that we bring out and then kill it and eat it. That's the problem, right? Living thing.
Not
That's the
living
real
thing,
problem.
sentient being, Akon. Sentient being. Do you know what
We don't
sentient being
have.
is?
Yo,
Like-
Silver.
Yes.
Silver. Go on. I want your opinion on one thing, and I'm being like, I don't mean to be harsh on this. Like, there here in Goiás, other regions of Brazil too, but here in Goiás is where the most. We have this hog, like this big fucking giant pig, like
Invasive
and
species. Yeah.
yeah, it's a hog. It's like really like a hog, and it's this wild pig. He reproduces like 5 times
Okay.
a
Okay. Look,
amount. Like
I'm gonna stop
no,
you
wait.
here
Let me
because
finish, please. I wanna
I
I
no
want your opinion
I
on this. just
I
want
know
your opinion,
I
bro.
just I know where you're going with this. I know where you're
Please.
going with this. This isn't something new. I get asked this all the time, right? With invasive species who might be attacking,
No.
eating your
I'm
crops.
really curious about that. I'm really curious about that. Sorry.
Fine,
I
go on,
don't mean to
finish.
be
No,
disrespectful.
it's fine. Sorry, go on, finish.
I'm just curious. Like, those hogs are a plague here. Like, they destroy
Yes, I know.
everything. They kill
Yep.
people. You can't
Okay.
hunt them. You
Mm-hmm.
can't like do shit about them. And so when you come to wild and shit, you need to hunt them before
Okay.
they crush you, like they fuck you. It's
Okay,
hard.
cool. Yes, again, and the reason I cut you off is because look, nothing new was said again, right? This is something that vegans get talked about all the time, right? When we bring up conversations about changing like our diet with things that we know we can do very easily, there is no gray area here, right? It's super simple. People always
yeah.
deflect to other niche areas, right? Like invasive species, right? This is complicated there because first of all, I don't know exactly the situation. Now, are there any ways you could prevent this without hurting the animals? If that's possible, then that would be the best way, right? But if you want to protect your land and there is no other way you can do so, I don't have an issue with it. But obviously believe that there
Yeah.
are other ways to go about it.
Because they're
And
giants, like they're monsters, like they
I know, yeah,
destroy
sure.
everything.
Yeah, but sometimes there's also the issue of just people
They walk
actually
in
introduce.
200, like they don't
I know,
walk
I
like
get it,
in
yeah.
1, 3 or 5. They walk in
Yeah.
200, like they're like that's stuff.
Yeah,
But I
invasive
agree.
species.
I agree with you. It went far. Like in the part of the diet, what I can do, I confess, like I like vegan food, but I prefer my meat. Sorry, I'm
Well, but no, no, no. Look,
sorry.
that you don't have to apologize for that, and that's we know this, right? We know that people like me, vegans like me as well, right? Again, we like the taste. We don't have an issue with the product. We have the issue with what happens to the animals, right? We have after they're killed. It doesn't matter what you do to their body, right? Like it it's the fact that during their life, I mean during just from the moment of their existence, we have decided every single aspect of their life for our pleasure, for our benefit, right? From the way the cramped conditions they live in, to how long their lifespan, to if they like they get separated from their family, their friends, to the way they're just treated and exploited for all of their body parts, right? We have dictated every aspect of their life for us, right? That's the thing that we take
Yeah.
issue with, right? And look, I get that it's hard, bro. Like you need to understand. Every vegan, like most vegans in the world, they were at one point non-vegan. They had to go through this period
Yeah,
of change,
I
right?
also wanna point out that Felic is also, if you look at his stream, he is cooking Beyond Meat right now. Like
It's that easy. It's that easy to just go down like an aisle down and just pick up the vegan option instead
Great,
of the
brother.
flesh option.
Oh, they're doing great.
Look, bro, do you go to the gym?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you know that when you started, you had a period where you were learning, right? You didn't know what you're doing. It was like you're trying to build consistency. You were learning the ropes, right?
Yeah.
But after you
Was
go for
struggling.
like a couple months, very consistent, it's like, okay, you've got it in the routine. Bro, any change is like that, right? Learning a language or going vegan or moving to a different city, there will be that period at the start where you're going to struggle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Nah,
After that point,
I
it
know
will
this.
be exactly the same. And the brilliant thing is, in this day and age, it is so easy. It's never been this easy to go vegan before, right? And you have people here, every single vegan in this chat, we are all telling you, bro, anytime you want, you can message us, we can help you out. If you have any issue, you're like, oh, I'm getting this craving, or can you help me find this kind of food? Or like, we all want to help you, right? And we can give you so many resources. I know people who will literally pay people to try it out, go vegan. I help out friends as well, right? If you have this much help, right? If I tell you, you know what, I'll help you. Assign you a nutritionist. You could join this community who are doing with other vegans. You could be smart, and so that period of change, that difficult time, whether it's going like starting off the gym for the first time or going vegan, the smarter you are about it, the easier it will be. Right? Do you think you'll struggle as much if you were going to a new restaurant, if you had a vegan friend locally who was teaching you, if people were checking in on you? Do you think you would struggle with it that much?
If there was money involved, I guess no. I'm
Uh,
just
Well,
kidding.
hello.
there are yeah. So that's the thing, right?
Ah,
All of these concerns, that's something we can help you with, right? If you're worried about money, we can say, well, that's brilliant because there are so many
no,
cheap
I
and
was kidding
inexpensive
because you
ways of.
said someone will pay for another guy to be vegan. Now, oh, that's some shit I will.
Well,
Hello.
if you're
Hello,
yeah,
guys. Sorry for
but
Somebody
interrupting
that's
pays me
you.
to go vegan. I'm gonna give it a shot. Like,
I mean, if you were in London, bro, I
so
would. But
cheap, guy.
the point is, right? We aren't doing like the reason why people would do that is because we see the suffering that these victims go through, right?
Yeah,
Have you ever
yeah,
seen
I
the kind
know.
of footage? I can tell you're obviously a compassionate
Like,
guy.
I
Have you
saw
ever
once
seen the
a
kind of
pig
stuff?
die, and I was shocked. Like,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
saw once
exactly.
like people killing a pig in a farm, and I was, oh fuck, no, I'm not eating this shit. Mom,
Exactly.
kill another
And
one without
that's
me seeing it.
that's
Oh, me.
exactly. Bro, this is what we're talking about, right? We have seen what happens behind these factory farms, right? There might be these happy images of cows in a grazing or like pigs roaming freely and having this is not the reality, right? Have you ever seen the undercover footage of what actually happens in abattoirs, in slaughterhouses, in factory farms?
Hello, guys.
That's
Sorry for interrupting you.
often
What
big
topic you are
companies though,
speaking? Can you
because
explain?
We're talking about
there's
veganism,
some big
bro.
companies. There's
Vegans,
some
huh?
big companies. They don't slaughter in a harsh way. There's the
Yeah,
scientific way.
bro. I can
It's
accept your point, but there is a food
Miss
cycle chain.
Wait, okay, Mr. KT, you've just entered a conversation between two of us.
Yes,
Like, can
yes.
you wait your
Sorry
turn?
for.
No, no,
Okay.
you're good.
No, I've
Hi,
sorry,
sure.
just a
Look,
second.
it's
Sorry, I got to leave, but I love you guys. It's been awesome. I'm just here to practice my English, and I
well,
don't know.
okay. Look,
I
why
love your
don't
people.
this has been a great conversation, and I have appreciated your honesty as well. Why don't you come back another time you're free, and we could continue where we left
Uh,
off?
if I find some time, I'll hop in. So thanks. Have
Absolutely,
a
bro.
good
Take
one.
care. You too.
Take care.
Can I
Hello, bro. Can I speak?
ask some question?
Yeah, so wait,
Yeah, go on, Dan.
Is
Mr. K,
conversation on?
Ryder, Danth was
Ah,
first, so wait for a
Oh
second for
yeah.
him.
thanks, bro.
Let
Thanks.
me introduce myself first. My name is Daniel, and I'm new here. There's something I want to ask about vegans or vegetarian stuff.
Yeah, shoot.
Do vegans people eat mushroom or like something like that as a replacement for meat? Because
Okay, so
what I know
why?
is that
Mhm.
mushroom they're like what do they call microbes, right? Like
Meister protein.
little germs creator.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
do you guys eat that
Wait,
also as a replacement for meat?
yeah. So I kind of know where you're hinting at. The whole point about being vegan is about rejecting animal exploitation. Mushrooms, I know they're not theoretically plants, but that our problem is not. We're not necessarily suggesting when you eat plants that you eat plants, the biological material plants, but rather that you just don't exploit sentient beings. And a lot of the times that also includes mushrooms, of course.
So mushroom counts as sentient being, like you said, right?
Yeah, they're not sentient. Yeah,
But what? They're not sentient or they're sentient?
they're not.
Maybe uh sorry, my English is still kind of bad. Trying to improve here.
You're doing great.
But mushrooms are not sentient because what?
Because they don't
Like
have a brain or a central nervous system, and there's no reason for us to believe that they might be sentient, given that with every single evidence that we have, sentience is an emerging property of brains and or central nervous systems.
So if like examples like an ant, right? Like if they're how do I say it? Like they're still living, maybe they feel pain. If you see people eating ants, would you still disagree with them?
Yes, if they have alternatives, if they don't need to exploit or kill any sentient being, and that includes ants, then they should probably not do that, right? If they have alternatives.
I have a
Yeah, go on, Felix.
Dan, are you vegan, by the way? Dan?
What?
Are you vegan?
No. I'm just, regular.
Do you mean do you eat meat?
Yeah, I eat meat also.
Okay, Chip, there you go.
Okay, so so Dan, what we're trying to say here is if you can survive and be healthy without consuming meat, then and knowing that behind meat, innocent animals are brought to life only to be killed, then how can you morally justify doing so? How can you morally justify choosing for innocent animals to be killed for you and exploit them?
Innocent animals.
Yeah, it's about the animals.
Yeah, I never think about that, Like you said, innocent animals, right? What if I eat like a tiger or a lion? Like they're hostile animals, right? Not innocent.
They're still innocent.
Yeah, so when I say innocent, by the way, just to be clear, when I say innocent, I don't mean that they're guilty of something. I don't think animals can theoretically be guilty, but I use this word to refer to the fact that they haven't attacked you, or you're not killing them in self-defense, but rather they're just minding their own business and you're going there and using them or killing them because you have power to do so.
What about mosquitoes? Maybe it's not really optimal to eat mosquitoes. I don't know what they taste like, and also they don't have any nutrition or anything. But they attack me first, so they're not innocent to us humans, right?
Yeah. So if a mosquito is attacking you, I personally think you should be able to defend yourself, and that would mean trying to remove the mosquito. If you can't do that and you kill them, you did it in self-defense, but that's different. And please correct me if I'm wrong. Is that different? So a mosquito attacking you and you killing them in self-defense, is that the same as you going around outside and trying to find mosquitoes to kill?
Yeah, different.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about here, right? Like if there is, what we're saying is essentially that when it comes to violence, when it comes to exploitation, we should have a good reason to do so. And a good reason is definitely not, well, I like it, or we've been doing it for a long time. These are none of these are good reasons to exploit or kill innocent animals, correct?
Wait. Do plants seem innocent to you?
Plants are not individuals. Plants do not make decisions or choices. Plants are mechanical, for better or for worse.
Oh. Like, you better see like some kind of Amazon fire forest than seeing one cow getting eaten, right?
So if I see an animal in the forest being eaten, is that the question? What's the question?
No, you rather see an Amazon fire forest than a cow getting eaten by a humans, right?
I'd rather we don't bring a cow into existence just so that we can treat them like an object, use them, and then kill them. I'd rather we just eat plants instead.
Oh, eat plants. So what do we do with the animals?
So
Like,
these animals, we bring them to life. These animals are not animals that they breed on their own. We selectively bred them, and we choose to bring them to life for the sole purpose of using them and killing them.
But so, like here, imagine a world where everyone is vegans, and we don't use animals for them to eat, but we use animals, to make them fight each other. How about that?
Well, we are also
Pokemon.
against. We're against that, of course. We don't have a problem. Our whole thing isn't eating them. Our whole thing isn't what we do to the animals afterwards. We're essentially saying if you don't have to be exploitative or cruel towards an animal, then don't be. Using an animal for your entertainment is still exploitative, and you don't need to do it.
Thanksgiving gonna be sucks,
Thanksgiving is gonna suck. Is
No,
that
it doesn't. Because
no, it doesn't,
because-
bro. Look up vegan Thanksgiving recipes on YouTube. Oh my god, the best fucking food. You wouldn't even believe. Bro, my mac and cheese slaps. Every year for Thanksgiving, I make mac and cheese and a turkey roll, a vegan turkey
use
roll.
milk?
Everyone always eats it and loves it.
Wait. Vegans doesn't have problem with milk, sorry. My mistake.
It's a vegan cheese, vegan cheddar cheese. So it's a vegan mac and cheese, and I do like breadcrumbs on the top of it. Like
The milk, use milk from the cows, right?
no. I don't. I use soy milk if I use anything, but I don't even usually put too much milk in it.
But
I'm vegan, so everything I eat is going to be plant based automatically. Like if I say mac and cheese, I mean vegan mac and cheese. It's really good. Every year, everyone always asks me to keep making it. So
I know, but we're not hurting the cows, right? For using their milks or anything. We just
but like.
well, hold on.
So
Ryan,
Dan,
how old are you? Before I ask you the next question, how are you? Over 18 or 16 or something? Have you had the talk with your parents about the birds and the bees? Because I don't want to break any news to you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what is it? So what is the requirement for? What is the requirement for a mammal to produce milk? A female mammal to produce milk.
Yeah. Now I understand.
Yeah, and then but then what do we do? What happens to the baby cow? What happens to the baby cow after it's born? Usually they get slaughtered or tortured for veal.
But
So it's
here,
the dairy industry is
I
extremely
know the point
abusive.
anyway. But here, listen, please. I have another statement.
Wait. It seems like you're hopscotching. Why not? Do you agree that milk is bad and abusive and exploitative? Do you agree with me on the facts of the matter? Because if not, we have to dive deeper into it.
I understand that, like when mama cow and papa cow, do something and then mama cow can produce milk.
No,
But
you need to
here,
dive deeper. No, Dan, that's not the case. Dan, I'm sorry for interrupting you there, but what we're trying to say is that for milk in animal
the milk is
agriculture, but it's
like the baby cows.
no, that's not
But
what happens. So obviously, of course, you would think that you would need a male and a female to mate in order for them to produce a baby. But most often in animal agriculture, males are usually killed before they even grow old. And in fact, a lot of the times they just use bull semen, they use their sperm, and they artificially inseminate the cows. And even if they don't do that, they still control the breeding process by keeping the bulls separate and only allowing them to be with their mothers when they want to. But that's one part of it. Do you know what happens to the babies after they're born?
maybe no. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, what do you think? What do you think would happen to a male dairy cow that is born? What do you think the industry would do with it?
But here, imagine if
I'm not asking you to imagine. I'm
Answer
asking
the question, bro.
Answer the question.
Answer the
What happens
question.
to male dairy cows that are born in the dairy industry? What do you think?
What? I don't know. They're killed, like you said, you were right.
Yeah,
I know,
they're bolt gunned
they-
like almost instantly,
like-
or turned into veal. Do you know what veal is?
no, I don't know.
So veal is what veal is? It's a slang. It's a slang term for baby cow meat. But what they do is they tie up the baby cow so it doesn't move. So it becomes so it can't move, and so the flesh changes composition. And so what happens is they strap down these cows till they're about a year old, and then they kill them for their meat. Not seeing sunlight, like literally like strapped because they're not allowed to gain muscle because that would ruin the quality of their meat. So they're basically, just for being born male, they're gonna be locked in a room and then killed when they're 6 months old. I mean, that's crazy, dude. I think that's like insane. That's like normal. That's like something that happens all the time. I think that's so. What do you think? What are your like moral intuitions? Like, what does your heart think about that? Sound like a Disney princess.
What farmers that that take care of animal? What do they call? I forgot.
I'm sorry.
What kind of farmer category that take care of animals? I forgot the name. Sorry.
Factory farms?
Yeah, farmer? I'm not sure what you're trying to ask here. And you're not answering my question. Like, how do you
have a ranch like to keep animals? What do they call? Or maybe they just call farmers. The same.
What are you trying
I'm
to
having
say?
a little bit of trouble understanding.
Yeah, can you repeat that? Can you rephrase the question?
All right, here. I will talk slowly. All right. What?
Thank you.
Farmer category that take care of animal that has ranch, like farmer that take care of like sheep, cows, or goats, like anything like that.
I mean, it's all under the category of animal husbandry, if that's what you're asking. But I'm not sure how that's. Why do you need to know this category name?
Because maybe there are different farmers. Like there are farmers for like carrots and stuff.
Yeah, and there's farmers for baby veal that lock up baby veal and them and the baby. There's
I just want to point out that hold on, sorry, Nick.
Go for it.
I just want to point out that Light is interested in pursuing a discussion. So when if it doesn't really go anywhere. Since there's so many people,
Here,
we probably should like keep a rotation going.
my
That's
statement.
fine.
Just
I just hopped in, so I'm still
Oh,
fresh
yeah.
on the trail. You know what I mean?
You know what? Forget
yeah,
about
no,
the
no. Feel free.
performer. Here,
Feel
imagine
free.
like
Feel free. Just
you're,
make sure
you're
if it doesn't like there are
vegan
other
farmer,
people
right?
that do want to pursue conversations.
Like
Is all
imagine
I'm
if
saying.
you're a vegan farmer that takes care of animals without any of those industrial like brutality like that you guys are disagree with. That you guys are imagine just a vegan farmer that takes care of animal with love and yeah with just no brutality like no killing baby
There,
cow,
there
killing
is no.
just
That's a contradiction. There, you can't have a vegan farmer in a world where
It
you
would be a
don't need to farm
sanctuary.
animals.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
it would be a
ask.
sanctuary.
Then.
If,
It would be a
you know,
sanctuary where
like
they don't kill the
Wait,
animals.
okay,
where
wait.
they
Raul Kurian, can you please mute your hot mic, bro? We can hear what you're eating in the
Oh, I'm
chips.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's all
That's
right.
what I've been
Just
trying.
warning this time. I'm just kidding.
That's what I've been trying to ask. Like,
It would be a sanctuary, and if you so
can,
a sanctuary
can
is
a
a place
vegan
where
be
they just
farmer?
take
That's what I've been
they
trying to
just
ask.
take care of
But
the animals. They don't exploit. They don't kill the animals, right? If a I mean, I'll give you a real life story, right? There was this farmer, and he went vegan, and he had these cows. Oh, okay, fine, go on.
right here, just imagine like a farmer that does not kill the cows. That does just no killing in point. All right, no killing or anything. Here, so
So
these
what's he doing
farmers.
to these animals?
He's not really a farmer then, because a farmer takes the product to takes the animals and turns them into a product. That's not what a vegan does. So like on step one, we're already this can't happen. This
How about this?
Wait,
Farmer
let him
just
just
take
finish.
care of animals and not doing anything with that. But when I say not doing anything, not yet. But here, like all right, the farmer just take care of the animals. And here's my story. What if the farmers one day he's bored with like a lemonade or water and want something new to drink, right? Like and then he see they say one of her these cows producing milk. And remember, the farmer didn't kill any of the baby or anything like that, right? No harming or doing something like that.
But
And
the point.
the farmer just
But then
sure.
you're missing the.
I understand. I understand your question. May I respond to it?
And drink the milk.
I understand your question about like what if there's no killing and they take the milk? Is that still
Yeah,
vegan?
what if it's like
I would say I would
does
say
that
no,
count as
because
cruelty?
the issue we're running into is that that milk is not it's made for cows. It's baby cow milk, not human. It's not made for humans. So we're still we're taking from a baby cow, even if we think it's excess or whatever, et cetera, et cetera. That milk doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the mother cow who's designated that for her baby calf. So we'd be stealing. I mean, I don't feel good stealing from single mothers. I don't know. What about it just seems kind of messed up. I hear what you're saying though, and like a butte that would be like the most beautiful and ethical scenario, but like not the most ethical, but probably one of the more ethical ways to get milk, you could say, if there's no killing. But still, the problem is that that's not sustainable for every single person to drink milk, because we have billions of people who drink milk every day. So that's why, because we have this mentality that drinking milk is okay, that it's okay to steal this milk from the mom, that this keeps happening. We have to change the mindset around this. Can't be allowed, because again, even if we try to do all these little farms, it won't be enough for everyone, and we'll revert back to the CAFOs, the central animal feeding operations that we have now, which are immoral, disgusting. And I think if you're a Muslim, you'd be against it. I think if you're a Christian, you'd be against it. I think if you're an atheist, you'd be against it. Like, no questions asked. Like, if you were to look at it and look deep within your heart.
Okay, everyone. I chose to end it there. I can't stay anymore. It's been 3 hours. I have to go do some work also, and I have to go make some coconut bowls, believe it or not. But wait, before I go, I thought I'll give a couple of minutes if somebody wants to ask a vegan something. So if you want to ask me something, you've heard some of the conversations. The conversations are still going in the stream. If you want to ask some questions, I can answer them right now. We can go a little bit through them. But if not, that's okay. We'll end the stream and we'll move on. We'll see you then the next one. Probably on Sunday and probably on the street because the weather will be back to normal. It's very, very warm here. Martin, trying to catch it. Martin, thank you so much for being here, Martin. I saw you moderating. You do a great job. Vegans get so mad. Listen, Frank of the Forest, you have a photo of Albert Einstein. Did you know that Albert Einstein was actually respecting animals' rights? Maybe you should do the same, since you have a photo of them and I'm assuming you appreciate them. And also, the reason why we get mad is because, you know, it's violence towards innocent animals. It's very easy to get mad on it. Can you define veganism for Kirk? Sure. So Kirk, veganism is the moral principle where we reject exploitation as much as it's possible and practicable. By that, I mean that if you don't, like if you're presented with the choice between exploiting an innocent animal or not, a vegan would choose to not do that. And you just gotta be intellectually honest because a lot of the times you are presented with that choice and you have to open your eyes and see that you do have those choices. Question. What about the mice whose homes are destroyed by crop farming or killed or insects for that matter? Yeah, so this is a crop death argument. That's how we call it in the vegan community. In fact, I will tell you this, no vegan likes that. We have solutions for it. It's either called veganic farming or vertical farming. We have several solutions for it. We don't like the fact that animals are killed for crop production. However, we also acknowledge that even in that situation, so that's one thing to say about it, right? The fact that there are alternatives even to that, and we do advocate for those. You can also say that if the farmer who is farming for crops would be vegan, he would probably respect those animals and not kill them. You can also say the fact that if most of these animals are not killed, but rather they use some form of deterrent so that they don't come there. It's not like farmers enjoy killing all of these animals. They just really want to produce crops and they do it in self-defense rather than with the intent to use them or treat them like objects. And also the biggest and most important thing I would say is the fact that most of the crops that are grown for foods are grown for animal products or animals to feed the animals. So therefore, if mice or insects that are killed for crops are important to you, then you should already adopt a plant-based diet because you would be reducing those killings as much as you possibly can. Okay. My chat keeps jumping. I'm sorry, everybody. Can you please tag me if you have questions for me? Oh, Martin, thank you so much. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate you. Please tag me if you have questions for me, please. It helps out because the chat keeps jumping in and out and it's difficult. Do you believe that vegans have the right to force their beliefs on anyone else besides themselves? I don't think anybody has the right to force their beliefs. As I've stated, you weren't in this chat, but I've been on this Discord a lot of times, and as I've told all the people, I'll tell you the same thing. A lot of the times when we talk about veganism as a moral principle, we essentially are just showing people that a lot of the times they actually do share the same axiomatic values that we do. They're just not being logically consistent with those axiomatic values. So in that sense, nobody's forcing anybody. If you think it's okay to exploit and slaughter humans, then that's an axiom that we all disagree on. If you think, however, that it's wrong to exploit and slaughter humans for optional products, then you should be vegan because that wouldn't be morally consistent otherwise. That's it. So it's not about forcing their beliefs. It's about showing people that they don't have moral consistency in their beliefs. And moral consistency is very important. Otherwise, we reach horrible shit. What would you tell somebody who's considering going vegan? I would say very important is join a vegan community like here. Come more often to vegan places. A lot of the times people go vegan and they understand that as a diet. It's not really a diet. It's very important to understand the values behind veganism. I think that will make you, well, a better proponent if you ever want to be one, or an animal rights activist. But I think it's very important that you understand what veganism is and that you really connect with it. Because the reason why I personally believe that people become ex-vegans is because they never really understood it in the first place. Every single person that I saw that were as an ex-vegan did not really understand veganism, including Alex O'Connor, who was a very intelligent person, and it saddens me that they're no longer vegan. Oh, Tone, thank you so much. Oh, let me see. Drac out of the window. A wild sheep needs help. Drac out of the window. A wild sheep needs help. I don't know how to interpret that, but okay. Thank you, Tone, for the super chat. I see. Space Money is being disingenuous, but I'll answer your question. Do you think a vegan diet is appropriate for children in development stages? Italy has made it illegal until age 18. What's your thoughts on that? I think there is plenty of empirical evidence that a plant-based diet, if supplemented, including for kids, you will have no issues adopting it, including for kids. Do you believe that people are animals? Humans are inherently animals. We are part of the primate species, and yes, thus we are animals. Wait. Does anyone who is vegan actually understand their history? How they slaughtered humans at the baseline of trees until the trees bled red with the blood of humans? Okay, why would we care about that? Does that morally justify you forcing innocent sentient beings into slaughterhouses today, or breeding them into existence only to treat them like objects? I don't think it does. Is tallow vegan? No, it is not. Tallow is, if I'm not mistaken, made of the bones of the carcasses of animals, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it's disgusting. I wouldn't touch it even if I wasn't vegan. Okay. Yeah, I see there's a lot of people who make good claims here. We have a lot of cool people in our chat here making good claims, right? Does anyone know any good free streaming sites? Free streaming sites. I use OBS right now. I think StreamYard helps you stream for free, but it adds a thing on your stream. James, 3 Movies is not a scam site. It's a site where they show you Dominion. They show you 3 very important movies if you want to learn more about veganism. Are you a vegan? Yes, I am a vegan. I respect animals, therefore I'm vegan. Are you against vaccinations too? No, I'm a critical thinker. Vaccinations provide more benefit than deterrent. So obviously I would, well, not deterrent. I'm spacing out on the word, but you know what I mean. There's more good than bad for vaccination. So of course I'm not against vaccinations. That's it. I think we're done with the questions. Somebody asks me, why are you gay? I'm not gay, but even if I were, what would be the problem with being gay? Do you have a problem with people expressing their sexuality in consensual ways with other adult people? Do you stand against oppression in all of its forms? I'd like to think that I do, but if you bring up something that I'm supporting oppression and then I can choose otherwise, then I'll gladly listen. There you go. We tackled all the questions, everybody. We're strong. Oh, it's so hot. It's gotten to like 23.5 degrees in my room. I would still kiss you, please. Gay or not. So listen, kiss people with consent, please. Consensual. We're all about consent here. Somebody said you are gay. Thank you. We take it as a compliment. When somebody says that people are gay here, we take it as a compliment. On this channel, being gay is awesome. Just like having any other form of sexuality is awesome. We don't judge. As long as there's consent, again, we're all good. Consent is the key word to sexual preference or sexual orientation, however you want to call it. Yeah, I see a lot of people are pretty cool in this chat there. Most people agree with the fact that it's wrong. I advocate for many human issues, but other animals are food. So James, I hear this a lot. If you advocate for human issues, but you are still oppressing animals, I would say you can spend your time advocating for human rights if that's what you want. That's beautiful, and I encourage people to do that. But you know, when you eat, for example, you are making a choice. Nobody's forcing you to make one choice or another. So why not choose the one that doesn't oppress an animal? I'm not sitting here telling you to advocate for animals. That would be cool. I'm sitting here telling you, just don't oppress animals. So make the choice that doesn't oppress animals. It's pretty simple. And you said you're gay too. Cool. As I said, we appreciate people being gay and expressing their sexuality however they want to. People overvalue protein. I used to bodybuild in 120 grams and I was huge. High carb for health, low fat. I agree with you. People definitely overvalue protein. I still think you need some protein. I think at least 100 or maybe 120 grams, depending on your body weight, of course. But yeah, I think you also need carbs. If you want performance in the gym, carbs will definitely help you achieve performance. What about kosher food? Well, kosher food is the same. Kosher food still exploits and slaughters sentient beings if they're using animals. So it doesn't really matter the fact that they kill them in a different way. They still bring them to life only to kill them, and I would say that's immoral in my own worldview. Somebody said you can't survive without meat. Yeah, that's obviously factually wrong and easily demonstrable by the fact that millions of people on this planet are surviving without meat. Not millions, hundreds of millions, because if I'm not mistaken, there's a lot more vegetarians than there are vegans. So yeah. I only use milk for coffee. Why? Why not just use something else? Why support the needless exploitation, abuse, and slaughter of a dairy cow, who, by the way, has it the worst? Why not? Why support that? For milk in your coffee, you can use oat milk or anything else. Come on. Can you eat and still respect animals? Of course not. No, you cannot respect animals and eat them. Well, you can say that you conceptually respect the concept of an animal, but you don't really respect the individuals that you are forcing into slaughterhouses, of course. Chip only eats 5 million grams of protein per day. Yes, Tone, that's how much grams I eat. My wife bought me 2 T-bone steaks last night using pecan wood on grill. Yeah, man, your wife bought you the flesh of a sentient being. Man, that's a bad present. I'm sorry, man. Somebody brought you corpse as a present. God, if somebody brought me that, I would be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Stop bringing corpses to me. I don't like corpses. I see humans as separate from the rest of the animals. We aren't oppressing them, in my opinion. They exist for food until humans are no longer the directors of life on this planet. Well, James, they are oppressive because you are bringing them to life only to exploit and kill them for an optional product. That is, by definition, oppressive because it is cruel and unjust. It is both cruel and unjust to bring somebody to life only for you to use them as something that you don't need. My opinion. Well, it's not my opinion. It's pretty going by the definition of oppression. Chip, have you ever heard we started a war with Iran? Do you figure it's World War III by now? Man, I'm so scared about this whole political status in the world. The thing is, everybody who I talk to is just, nobody wants this. Nobody wants this much conflict. Nobody wants this bullshit. And yet here we are. So it's just a couple of people deciding for the rest of us. And if you have a voice, please speak up and don't be for any of this violence. No form of violence is nice between humans, between animals, whatever. Okay, the chat jumped again. Can a vegan eat chicken eggs? No, a vegan cannot eat chicken eggs. We respect chickens. If you want, there's a video in this description. It's called the 3-minute video, and you'll kind of get the gist of what happens in the egg producing thing. But essentially, it is still exploitative, and they still slaughter the animals. So no, we don't. And even if they didn't slaughter the animals, it would still be exploitation. And, we respect animals. We respect animals as individuals. We don't respect animals as a concept. We respect animals as an individual. Somebody said plants do feel pain. No, they don't. And even, okay, well, let's tackle this whole plants do feel pain thing, because I feel like, well, so many people would be like, yes, they do. Well, plants don't feel pain, by the way. But even if you think that they do, let's imagine that you think plants feel pain, okay? Well, then you would obviously prefer that for something, in order for you to live, you would rather cause the minimum amount of pain, right? So that would inherently imply adopting a plant-based diet. While it sounds counterintuitive, the reality is that on a plant-based diet, you kill less plants, because when you eat animals, animals are fed considerably more plants than you would otherwise eat yourself. Somebody said, I saw you in Amsterdam, says Katie. Okay, nice, Katie. Just come and say hello next time if you see me. Plants can count. Venus flytrap. No, they don't count. It's a mechanism. Why is sentience so important? See, this is a very good question. So the reason why sentience is very important is because sentience essentially means that the individual that you are doing an action towards can feel the consequences or the repercussions of that action. So if I were to put it, what's the difference between a sentient being and a non-sentient being? Well, not even a being. Is that the non-sentient being is closer to an object, and a sentient being is an individual. So sentience makes you an individual. That's why sentience is important. It's what matters also to most humans. The reason why it's bad to kill a human being is not because they're a human being. It's because they're sentient. That's why. I know we simplified it and said, well, you're a human being. Therefore, because a lot of people don't really understand what sentience is, and you got to get through people. People need this simple message. But in reality, the reason why it's bad to kill a human being is because they would experience that, because you would be disregarding their individuality, and because you wouldn't want to, disregard that, especially without their consent. Yeah, exactly. Sentience is the reason there is a you. Hey, Oleg Chier. I'm not sure if I'm mispronouncing. I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. I think you're vegan. I saw you in the chat today. If you're new here, I don't know if I've seen you before, but if you're new here, stick around. We have a really nice vegan community here, and we always, we have fun together. Can vegans be with somebody who is vegetarian? That's up to every single person, I would say. I personally could not be with somebody who is vegetarian, simply because, as I see, I'm also an animal rights activist. I'm not just vegan. And coming home and seeing animal products in my fridge, knowing the exploitation and slaughtered and the amount of just unfairness that was behind those products would kind of make me feel unease. And I would not want to be with somebody who I would have to explain this position constantly after I just spent hours trying to explain it to some strangers. So personally, I could be with somebody vegetarian who wants to be vegan, but I couldn't be with somebody who I would have to convince to go vegan. It's just not, we just don't share the same moral values. What about studies that show that eating meat is more beneficial than veganism, especially since you're so big on studies? So JT, if you provide those studies, whatever, I can look at them if you want to provide those studies, that's fine. First of all, a study cannot say that eating meat is more beneficial than veganism, because veganism is a moral position. So what you mean to say is that eating meat is better than eating plant-based products, but there's no such studies. In fact, a lot of the studies that show that a plant-based diet is suitable are usually studies that are founded by animal agriculture in the attempt to find exactly what you're saying right now, and they end up showing that it's actually, there's no difference. But even if it were, let's imagine that consuming animal products is a little bit more beneficial. Who cares? Eat plants. Is oppression really justified if you get a little bit more benefit from it? Come on. As long as you can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet, that's all you need, right? There is no way that everything you own is vegan. I think that vegans can never be true vegans. I mean, Katie, you know, this is a nirvana fallacy. Veganism essentially means rejecting animal exploitation as much as it's possible and practicable. That's what I do. In other words, if I have to buy something and I'm presented between the option of exploiting an innocent sentient being or not, I will always choose the option which doesn't exploit an innocent sentient being. Is everything in my house vegan? I think most of the things in my house are vegan. I'm not sure about certain electronics, but I only buy electronics if I need to. I try to buy them secondhand and other things. But either way, being vegan is about rejecting animal exploitation. And I try to do that, again, as much as I possibly and practically can. Of course, there's no non-vegan food. Of course, there's no non-vegan clothes or non-vegan shoes in my house. But yeah, that's it. I can't speak for all other products. I'm just saying it probably is. JT, so it's a moral issue then. What do you base your morals off of? You know, I base my morals off of the moral philosophy of choice. That's where I base my moral value. I'll just call it, let's just call it the golden rule. Do not do unto others what you would not done unto you, right? I would not want to be exploited and slaughtered, so I will not exploit and slaughter others. Pretty simple. How many vegan tigers are there? There are probably no vegan tigers because, as I said just now, veganism is a moral principle of rejecting animal exploitation as much as it's possible and practical. Tigers need to consume animal products, and tigers do not have alternatives. You are not a tiger; you have alternatives. Tigers also commit infanticide, rape. You wouldn't commit infanticide or rape and say, because tigers do it, I should be able to do it too. So why would you say that because tigers eat meat, I should be able to do it too? Trump was apparently putting a show, not allowing Benjamin to attack. Wow. Yeah, I really dislike that person. I think he's the scum of the earth, and I really dislike him. But we have nothing to do. I'm not for violence, even against these people. I think we need more people to get educated and understand that he is actually quite detrimental to our society and everybody around us. Okay, 2 more minutes and then I'm gonna go. Many people who are vegan are now eating meat due to their body not being able to survive without meat? No, Danny, that's not the point. I think I mentioned it also at the beginning. I think many people are not vegan in the first place. I haven't seen personally a vegan who is no longer vegan. I've seen people who were plant-based or misunderstood even the moral principle of veganism, misunderstood it. And then they switch to, like you said, eating animal products. But even if their whole situation was that somehow they didn't manage to make a plant-based diet work, that doesn't mean that a plant-based diet does not work. It just means that they could not make it work. And that could be either due to environmental concerns, like, right, the environment that they grew up in, maybe they didn't have enough options, or that could also mean, which is the highly most likely, they didn't know how to do it properly. Hank Boone says, then be consistent. We are animals just like lions. I am consistent, Hank Boone. There's a difference between moral agents and moral patients. We are moral agents. Animals are moral patients. That's it. That's all. Harvard has shown vegans and vegetarians have an increased risk of stroke and many other issues. Show me the study, JT. Otherwise, I don't care what your statements are. I have heard empty statements. Trust me, more than enough. I've heard so many empty statements. I've been a critical thinker, like AKA a person interested in a scientific skeptic for years, man. I've heard so many arguments. Even before being vegan, I would hear the most ridiculous arguments. So no, unless you show me evidence, I don't really care about your statement. How can you explain that plant-based products still cause harm to animals? Are you talking about crop deaths? Because if you're talking about crop deaths, as I explained just earlier, most crops are grown for the animals, and therefore there are considerably more harm done in an animal-based product. So I'm not saying that there is no form of harm. Veganism is not a position to reject harm, as I clearly explained just now. It's a principle where we reject animal exploitation. It essentially means that if you respect animals, not as the concept, but as the individuals that they are, then you obviously would never choose to exploit and slaughter animals, right? It's simple. It's a principle where if I say humans have value, I'm not, of course, if I kill 1 or 2 humans, I can still say humans have value. It doesn't mean that I actually believe humans have value, because when it comes to humans, we do count individuals. We don't just see them as a concept or as a group. So animals have value, therefore you don't just see them as a group. You see them as the individuals that they are. Somebody said, lol, most crops are not farmed for animals. That's another lie. Hank Boom, what I said is the most of the crops that are grown for food are grown for to feed the animals, and that is true. Indeed, a lot of our crops are grown also for fuel, for industrial fuel, and for other causes. But when it comes to food, for example, most of our crops grown for food are grown to feed the animals, and that is factual. That is not something that you can look it up, and if you don't trust me on this one, I don't really care. Somebody said pussy soy boy. Man, pussies are awesome. I don't know if you have a problem with pussies, but I like both pussies, both soy, and both boys. Well, I don't like boys. I like men if I were to like somebody, because we value consent here, and boys cannot consent. But yeah, thank you for calling me something that I really like. I appreciate that. What a weak man. Thank you. Yeah, well, I'd rather be a weak man than an oppressor. So there you go. And who are you calling a weak man? Look at this. Brother, I am far from weak. Far from it. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Oh, and now they go like, why are you gay? Why am I gay? As I said in this channel, and I'll say it again, calling somebody gay here is a compliment, because being gay is beautiful, just like being straight is beautiful, just like being whatever other sexual orientation or sexual preference you have. As long as there's consent, it's all beautiful, and you should be allowed to do it within, your things. So stop this nonsense. Stop being oppressive. Stop being bigoted, and allow people to be who they want to be, as long as they're not oppressing somebody else, and as long as there's consent. My God, my mouth hurts from speaking so much. Yeah, look at this. So I believe in your right to eat vegan and in your right to convince others to eat vegan. I don't believe in laws telling me what I can eat. Daniel Berg, I think I've seen you here before. I'll explain it to you. It's not about what you eat. It's not about what you put in your mouth hole. It's strictly about oppressing innocent animals. If you think oppression is bad, then you should be vegan. If not, then, if you think oppression is good, then you should have no problem with Nazis, racism, slavery, all this kind of stuff. But if you have a problem with that, then in order to be morally consistent, you should be vegan. That's it. That was fun. Have a great weekend, says Handy Harmonica. Thank you, Handy Harmonica. Here you go. P.S. brings it up. The land used for livestock grazing and feed crop cultivation is extensive, accounting a significant portion of global agricultural land. Oh, when it comes to land, it's insane how much more land. Yeah. But you know what, everybody, as I said, I'm a critical thinker. I don't really want you to listen to me. That's it. I don't want you to listen to me. I want you to go and look up to do your own research. And if you need help with that, you can start with a 3-minute video that is in the description of this video. That's it. You will start there and consider it as the beginning of your research. Just, I would say personally, the reason why I think you should look into it and try to do research is because you might be unaware of the immense violence, abuse, and slaughter that you are supporting. And you also might be unaware about the fact that these industries, they're lying to you. They're pushing you narratives only so that you can buy from them. And if you really want to support this kind of behavior where corrupt industries, and I only say corrupt because they get subsidies from the government. They use those subsidies to pay other politicians so that they get more subsidies. And some of the money that they get from you, because you pay for animal products, some of those money that they get from you, they use it to lie to you. They use it to create labels where they say these animals were treated nicely, these animals were not treated nicely. And all of this is so that you can feel good about your choices. All of this is so that you can continue buying their products. They have symposiums every single year where they try to discuss how to get you to give them more money. That's it. Well, that would be normal in a normal business. I don't have a problem in a normal business about that. But when it comes to actual oppression of animals and actually respecting animals, they never talk about that. The whole reason why all of these labels are brought up is for you, so that you buy more. That was my point, okay? So if you don't like being lied to, if you value freedom, if you are against slavery, if you're against oppression, veganism is nothing more but an extension of all that to all other sentient beings. Because all other sentient beings deserve moral consideration on account that they have a subjective experience of the world, on account that they can feel, and on account that, well, subjective experience matters to me more. And on account that they are individuals. They have a personality. And you don't have to trust me on that. If you ever had a pet, you have seen them show their personality. You have seen them be individuals. This applies to all animals. It's only logical to you don't even have to look that much into it, but it's only logical for you to understand that it does apply to all other animals. There's no reason why it wouldn't. They all have brains. They all have the same nose, eyes, mouths. They all communicate. They all love. Why would we all of a sudden assume that because we breed these animals into existence, we have more of a right to them? So let's not do that to them, okay? That's it. That's veganism. Veganism is simple. It's rejecting animal exploitation. Veganism does not, and I'll just repeat for everybody to hear. Veganism does not mean you have to go on the street and speak to people. Veganism does not mean you have to do outreach like I do now. Veganism does not mean any of it. Veganism just means you have to reject animal exploitation. It just means instead of choosing to oppress an animal, choose not to. Instead of choosing to enslave an animal, choose not to. Instead of choosing to kill an animal, choose not to. You always have these choices. Open your eyes, look around, and you have those choices, okay? Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. That's it. Be a beautiful person. Respect animals. And come back to the channel. We appreciate you. Have an awesome day. I will see you probably on Sunday where I'll be on the street talking to people, same conversations, veganism, and yeah, respect everybody, okay? I appreciate everybody for being here. Awesome people.